Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft. What is live stream 65 as we start the DLC for the very first time. So this is the beginning of the Reclaim DLC. This actually launched on Tuesday, yesterday, and we were planning to stream it on release. But yesterday morning, it wasn't able to be purchased. And yes, this isn't a free DLC. This is only one you can buy or pay for. So I've just pressed the wrong button and screwed myself over. There we go. Yeah, so you can't get this. Isn't for free. This DLC. This is not a free update. This is a paid DLC that adds new vehicles and maps to the game itself. As I say, we were expecting to play this as of. I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. We were hoping to play this as of yesterday morning, but there was an issue where it wasn't available for some reason. But as we finished streaming, I checked and it was there. So I don't quite know what happened. But unfortunately, we couldn't do as planned yesterday. But we're back with it today. We know there is a wrecking ball involved, but that's about it. As always, I try and go into everything blind, as we all do, as I always do. So I don't quite know what else has been added. But we do have the patch notes in front of us. I know there's 2 new maps, and that's about it, in all honesty. So we'll have a look and see what we can learn about today. Just let me check sound and do all the other good stuff, and then we'll have a read of the patch notes, and then we'll crack on and have a look at the first map of this DLC. I've been looking forward to this. We've been waiting for it a while. We knew it was coming in March. There was no date until last week. So it's taken a bit of time to actually get any information. And especially stuff that won't spoil it for myself, because we try and stay away from most things. How many adverts do I need to watch on my own stream before I can just check the sound and stuff? And that's with limited. That is putting limited. That is putting limited adverts on, which is what I do. But there we go. Right. So I'm messing things up by pressing too many buttons and things I shouldn't. But yeah, so hopefully we can get a decent way into this today. As planned for this week, there is no stream tomorrow, as I've got the pre-op assessment tomorrow. Friday stream, I'm in 2 minds currently. Obviously, we're quite near the end. I think we're near the end, although in fairness, there's still lots more to do, of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I could be wrong, in fact, that we're near the end, to be fair, because there's lots more to do, it seems. But Friday stream, I'm in 2 minds. It's either we do this, or we have 2 streams of Kingdom Come Deliverance, and we have 2 streams of RoadCraft Reclaim DLC, or we do as planned and do what we planned. Kingdom Come Deliverance. My brain is not working today. I blame on getting older. Right, let's have a look at these patch notes then. So 2 DLC maps have been added. I think I paid £11.99 for this DLC. So Autumn Collapse and Summer Drought. New DLC vehicles. So these are vehicles, if you don't buy the DLC, you don't get these vehicles, as far as I'm aware. And as I say, it is a paid DLC. And I paid for it personally myself. Derry Longhorn 4520 Heavy Scout. The Hollander M7 Cable Layer. Now the whole game currently, through the main game and the DLC previous one, there's only been 1 cable layer. So it's interesting, a different one. And is it better than the first one? Because the only one we've been using is amazing. We have a Torque G175 Tree Crusher. That's different. We haven't had a Tree Crusher before. A Minuteman K370 Explorer. I think we've already got 2 Minutemen already in the game. Not sure about that. The Wayfarer OFT 96 TSD Heavy Dump Truck. And the Wayfarer OFT 96 TST Heavy Cargo Truck. The 5111B Dragline Demolisher. That is the Wrecking Ball. New gameplay features ghost buildings, demolition buildings, exploration towers, hidden objectives, Echo Assist feature, tree crusher mechanic. As I say, it's quite new. Fixes and improvements: removed gearbox settings from the start campaign menu. Added the toy truck. Oh, so there's actually now a toy truck count, so you know how many you've got. New sound effects, I don't know what VFX is. Improved save system, minor performance updates, updated foliage and tree localization. Okay. So there are vehicles you can only access if you have the DLC. What is docked? Rebuild after the storm, master machinery in docked and link to post unlock. Hang on, what is docked? Is that? I think it's a different game, isn't it? It can't be the same game, surely. Right. If we continue, rebuild expansion, reclaim expansion. There we go. So Autumn Collapse is the very first map we can do as part of this DLC. We are max ranked, so they haven't updated the ranking system. We are max level. It isn't going to go above 20. We have only a little bit of money, to be fair. We have to earn some money pretty quickly, I think. But as far as I'm aware, everything else we've done 100% of the game. Everything else. Here we go. A former industrial region deep in the forest, abandoned for many years, now has a chance for restoration and development, thanks to you and your company's support. We don't know how many missions there are just yet, but let's get into it. Oh, we've got to pick our first vehicle, don't we? That's what my boy says at school. So I said we had a Minuteman rescue vehicle already, and they've added a new one to the game, so I'm curious to what the new one is like. Obviously, we'll try and use the new vehicles as soon as we can, as always. There we go. Yeah, so we'll try and use the new vehicles. We need to pick a vehicle to use, though, from the start of this. What have we not used? Do you know... let's use the Amiga Thunder Expedition. It's not one we've used very often. Let's use that. I don't know what these maps are going to have. Ghost buildings is going to be interesting. I don't quite know how that's going to work, what it entails. Demolishing buildings? Will that be any building or just set buildings? Lots of things we're not sure of at this point. But I'm really looking forward to this. The base game and the first DLC I really enjoyed. There were some difficulties, but you could then persevere and get through. Problem solving. I really liked it. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Operation Autumn Collapse, Central Europe, constructed an oil rig and infrastructure on the explored oil reserves. What's the betting they haven't brought the lady back? So our big criticism of the first DLC was the lady that talks to you throughout the main campaign wasn't in the next first DLC. I've got a feeling she might not be back looking at this. I'm hoping she is, because it really added more detail and made you think it was really more part of what you were doing. It looks incredible though. Look at that castle on top there. This map looks really good from what we've seen, but we shall see how it goes. No, she's not back. Welcome to your next slice of paradise, a formerly picturesque corner of the Black Forest that's now mostly mud and flotsam after those storms in the fall. The region's economy has been in free fall for years, with most industries packing up and the population following close behind. Plot twist, Geological Service just found an oil deposit under all this mess. Naturally, the local authorities are salivating at the chance to breathe new life into the area. That's where we come in. See, I so wish I'd brought Kelly back to talk. Your mission helped transform this muddy disaster zone into a functioning oil production site. First order of business is finding somewhere to plant a flag, scout ahead and look for a suitable FOB location. Forward operating base, FOB, it's a military term. Just watch your step, those landslides didn't exactly improve road conditions. Yeah, so Kelly's not back. I think that's kind of obvious, isn't it? To be fair. Right, what can we see of the map so far? I was going to say, show me the map. Okay, so there is something there. Don't know what that is, and obviously we're heading there. So a little bit of a story part at the very start there, wasn't there? All-wheel drive on. Always have all-wheel drive on. So you can see the storm they had in the fall has definitely done some damage with the fallen trees and the branches. Okay, what's this? This expansion is very different from everything you've experienced in the game so far. In the expansion, the focus is more toward exploring the environment. The game won't hold your hand anymore. You'll need to search for objectives. Oh wow! You'll need to search for objectives, events, and plots of interest on your own. Same goes for resources. They're fairly limited. Sometimes you have to venture into remote forgotten areas to find them. Wherever these changes bring a fresh new gameplay experience to RoadCraft, here's wishing you smooth roads and good luck on your journey. That's it. I don't know how involved that would be, but finding your own objectives will be very interesting, and finding the resources you need as well. That is very different to what we've had. There was a lot of hand holding in the base game and the first DLC, which wasn't a bad thing, but I'm excited to learn of something new coming. Okay, let's keep moving forward. As I say, we're heading to... Oh, okay, there's something new, another thing on there. In seeing something, I'm seeing something promising on my screen here. It looks like there might be a nice fob site just ahead of you. Nothing says luxury accommodation like an abandoned industrial site. It sure beats working out of your vehicle. Head over and see if it's salvageable. Once you get it operational, I will have a proper foothold in this mess of a region. Kelly. So Kelly's in the game, but she didn't talk to you. So there's an abandoned building here. This isn't what it was sending us to originally, though. It was that over there it wanted us to go to originally. So we have a side objective here. Locate and deploy the first forward operating base. Well, we might as well do that first then, since it's on our right-hand side. We obviously don't have fuel or damage on, so those things were added into the game after we began the game at launch, and we'd have to start the whole game from the beginning for it to allow us to do it. And we have it. That is the Wrecking Ball, the 5111B Dragline Demolisher. Good luck finding a building that this can't destroy. I think that said something like that. The Demolisher is here. We didn't need to buy it. This is a new type of objective, hidden demolition objective. This objective is only visible in Eagle mode. Abandoned buildings can be demolished with a proper vehicle identified by a special icon on the map. Okay, so you have to go into Eagle mode, whatever that is. I'm guessing Assassin's Creed-esque, to see demolition projects. Interesting. So the specified vehicles equipped with a wrecking ball can break down some buildings to clear places for new building or to get different rubbles. Ah, so some buildings you're going to need to demolish to get resources. By the sounds of things. Right, this is our forward operating base. I want to demolish something. Jake, man, good morning. How are you? Okay, we found the fob. Do we need to do anything, or is it up and running? Build a road to the oil rig location. Oh wow, we started it already. Metal beam dreams. Well, would you look at that? The remains of a metal beam production facility. It's seen better days, like maybe a few millennia ago. With some reconstruction work, we can get this place producing beams again. You'll need pipes and concrete slabs and logs, most of which you can scavenge from the nearby abandoned buildings and those fallen trees blocking the road. Trust me, you'll need plenty of metal beams for our oily ambitions. Okay. So I don't quite know what Eagle mode is. Obviously, we want to jump into the new vehicle. There's an abandoned building there. Oh, okay. So I wonder if this is Eagle mode. Maybe. I don't know. This is the map. So this could be Eagle mode. Yeah, but we were hoping to stream it live yesterday morning, but for some reason you couldn't get it yesterday morning. Frustratingly. I only saw it was live after we finished streaming yesterday at midday. But my hope was it should have been out first thing in the morning, but we had to wait a day. But yeah, how are you finding it so far, Jake, man? So we need to build a road. We're just looking at the new side mission. Build a road to the oil rig location. Let's have a look where that is. That's there. Oh wow, that's a big road. Okay. Press one button there. And then restore the metal beam production facility. Is this one here? Oh, we've got to reach that location first. That's a little bit away from where we are. Okay. And we still have the main, which is head on over to the building over here. So as far as Eagle mode is, I'm not too sure. Resource storage, there we go. I'm not too sure. This is our wrecking ball though. We have a wrecking ball. We got our fob up and running, but we didn't actually do anything for that. We just had to go there. Let's have a quick look at this. So that building ahead of us there can be demolished. This building can be demolished to get additional resources. Well, we've got to demolish it straight away, don't we? Thanks for the like, appreciate that was. It's fun so far. That's always good to hear. I'm looking forward to the stuff we read at the start. Finding your own objectives, exploring to find these things. I'm looking forward to that. Right. So this building here can be demolished. We can't not do this right away. I'm not too sure how this works. Top left, it did say top left there was a health bar right at the top. So we can supposedly damage this right now. So beam vertical is up and down. And then boom laterally. Oh, okay. It hit it there. Let's bring this down a bit. Just trying to get the swing. Oh wow, the noise of it hit. Smash was nice. The noise that it hits there was quite cool. That noise. And you see bits of dust coming out of it. Yeah, I'm not really getting the swing, am I? That was a better swing. Whoa, that was a good swing. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit, I think, to get the swing here. I think we go down a little bit. Let's that swing up. You got to really get the swing. The noise, though. Ah, I wrapped it around myself. Didn't mean to do that, did we? But yeah, getting the swing is a bit tricky. I think it'll be a case of just getting used to it. Don't wrap. I'm hitting myself there. I do like the noise. There we go. Okay, now I'm curious to what happens. Okay, stuff disappears. So what resources did we gain? Ah, there. So you got some scrap, some metal beams and a pipe as well. And some scrap metal. So, can we build on it is my question. So it doesn't say anything about building on it though, does it? That's the only weird thing. There's no building on it currently. But yeah, it gives you some resources there. But we have to go into this mode, it seems, to be able to see what we can demolish. And there was no objective for this. Although it came up and said objective complete, there wasn't an objective. There's also something new. In the top right, next to our tokens to fast travel places and bring things back to us, I can't remember what they're called, we have a 0 out of 4 for dumper truck symbol. Don't quite know what that means. But it's a 0 for dumper trucks, interestingly. Right, while we're here, let's quickly head into our main garage. I want to have a look at the new vehicles in the shop. So there are some new DLC vehicles you can only get as part of the DLC. They haven't, annoyingly, brought in another Wayfarer, a different type. I was hoping so much for something other than the Wayfarer. Right, let's have a look at this. What's new? We own just about one of every vehicle, so anything that says 0 is new. So we've got the cargo crane truck. This is a Wayfarer, of all things. The Wayfarer OFT 96 TST. That is actually quite a cool truck. It's got a crane on the front as well. That I like. Looks to be a bigger cargo bed, 12-ton capacity. That actually looks really nice. I'm hoping, it does have it. It has all-wheel drive and diff lock. So that will potentially be better than the other Wayfarer by the looks of things. That's something that I really like the look of. What else have we got? That's new. None of that, none of that. None of that. No. Cable layer. This is the new Hollander M7 new cable layer. It's the tractor unit, essentially, isn't it? Lane speed is 2.2 meters per second. I don't believe we had that as an option previously. The other cable layer is on tracks. Looks very different to what this does. My interesting thing with this is just it's not as wide on the back end. So the issue with the base cable layer is when you put it down to do its job, the back end comes out quite a bit, gets caught on trees. This is a lot more slimlined, it seems, but with wheels, the concern is it might not be very good in some conditions. But it also has a laying speed, which I don't remember seeing before. This is a new vehicle, the Minimum K370, the Exploration Radar. Radar's new. We can scan 45 meters for objectives. That's why it's this. It's so you can scan for objectives. That's the whole point in it. Is so you can scan. That's quite cool. Winch length is semi-normal, to be fair. I just had a thought. That's got white. I don't think this has diff lock. No, it doesn't have all-wheel drive, the cable layer, which could be problematic. This is the base cable. So this does 2.5 meters per second. So the new cable layer is slower, but the back end is more compact, so you won't get caught on trees easily by the looks of things. Obviously, we will use all these vehicles at some point. The SAR truck, the SAR truck, that's interesting. Are we going to be able to pick up traders then instead in this? Because previously it's more of a snow runner thing, being able to pick traders up. But that on its own seems pointless. So I wonder if they're going to be trailers we can pick up. Interesting. What else have we got? The Wayfarer RFT 96 TSD, another Wayfarer. This is a dumper truck. Again, though, has no all drive or diff lock. It has a capacity of 40 ton. It's sand. It says sand capacity, so it's potentially only a sand vehicle. The lack of diff lock and stuff really puts me off, though, because the normal Wayfarer is horrendous because of its lack of all drive. Anything else? We're back. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them currently. I've got a feeling other stuff will be unlocked via the next map potentially. Oh no, that's new. No, we've seen that already, haven't we? I do like the look of the cargo truck. We are going to buy a vehicle now, one of the new ones. So we're going to buy the radar truck because we still got to go to the first main objective. So we'll buy the radar truck now, and we use that. It's a scout vehicle after all. But we'll be buying every vehicle and using them as and when we get a chance to. I'm looking forward to the SAR truck and seeing what we do with that, because obviously it sounds like we're going to be using that to pick up trailers. I could be completely wrong, but that's what it seems like. Where's the radar truck? I must have gone past it. Let's go. There it is. So yeah, if you don't buy the DLC, I believe you don't get any of these vehicles. Not yet. Okay. So we'll buy the radar truck as the first of the new DLC vehicles, and we will use it immediately. There we go. Don't quite know how this works. Aim winch actions. Object scanner, terrain scanner. Okay. So object, is it object? Yeah, object. We'll drive on. Let's see how this drives. Because there's no fuel in this, and that's only mainly because we started this before they added that as an option into the game. You don't need to worry about things like that. I kind of wish we had damage and not in fuel on. It'd make the game a lot harder. But it was just one of those things we just didn't have the ability to have when we started, and I don't want to restart the whole base game again. So you're heading in the direction of SnowRunner. Do you think it's going that way, do you? See, that could be a good and a bad thing. Because in some ways that could be okay. It's just, it needs to be its own game, doesn't it? That's the thing. And the more they go that way, there's potential that it's just going to turn into a clone, and I don't want that. Right, very muddy route this way. Very muddy. This thing doesn't seem to handle mud very well compared to some of the other trucks. Actually, scout vehicles. I just want to keep scanning to see what we find with the radar. I thought there'd be a way of actually activating the radar, but I think it just increases your scan ability and well in distance. I'm assuming nothing's showing up on the map. No. I better have a feeling that could be potentially destroyed. But I'm also guessing the map view is what they're calling Eagle Vision, borrowed from Assassin's Creed, I would say. And that's where you see buildings that can be demolished. And yeah, that SARS thing's pointless just yet. Okay, so you haven't found a use for it. That's interesting. It's the only reason to have it is for that, isn't it? Is that you've got to be able to pick up trailers. Also, I just had a thought. There are some vehicles in the game we've never used because we've not needed them to. We go to them here. I can't remember what they come under, to be fair. Oh, I know what they come under. So, where are they? Maybe they're not in this one. There are a couple of vehicles we've never used because there's been no use for them. And I can't for the life of me think what they are. Where are they? There's a couple of trucks. Where are they? I think we own them, but we've never used them. They're Star trucks. And there's never been there we go. The Star truck, the Nota Allegro. We've never had a reason to use it. We've used it as part of a mission when it's given to us. But other than that, we've never used it. There's never been a need to. You know, other than its winch, it doesn't do anything. So I don't quite understand what they're for either. And that's throughout the whole base game and DLC, first DLC. There's been no point. Okay, bit of water here, bit of flooding from the recent storms. This vehicle, the new Minuteman with the radar, handling wise is poor compared to the other ones we have. But struggling in the mud already. I might be on a tree, to be fair. I'm so used to changing gear manually because of expeditions at the minute. It's weird just everything being automatic. Okay, let's try and make our way through the trees, I think, because obviously the issue we have is the water there, the flooding. I just want to keep scanning with the radar though, to be fair. Yeah, we'll bypass the water there. What we got here? Obviously we don't want to tip over, we can avoid it. We just bypass the road because it's flooded. Just to make our life a little bit easier. We don't quite know how... Oh, hang on. Why is that yellow? Are we here? Oh, we're in the boundary of what we're looking for. Okay. Right, we're going to see what's dealing with and we're going to start building in this location. We don't quite know what else we're doing here. We've made the location. Right, okay. See that abandoned settlement up ahead there? That's our bullseye. Geological surveys confirm it's sitting right on top of the oil reserves. The task is simple on paper. An oil rig needs to be built to develop oil fields. Think of it as extreme renovation. Progress waits for no one, especially when there's oil involved. Now, interestingly, base game we had Kelly talking to us and telling us what we needed to do, and added a bit more conversation and things. Sometimes you're jumping away and just chat to you, and that really helped. First DLC, none of that, and it seemed quite flat when it comes to the atmosphere of the game. This is now coming into more email-y kind of stuff, where you get like an email at the bottom. Interestingly. Anything else? That's it. Okay. So the mission's changed to construct the building ×2 and infrastructure electricity. Let's have a look at this. So we need to construct 3 buildings according to that. Oh, it just says what? Maybe 1. I don't know. And then put electricity here as well. You can see the under construction oil rig needs 15 metal beams, 9 pipes, and 6 concrete slabs. This building can be built to make it... okay. I know what they've added. So, if you look on this, it says 0 of 3 for this building, and 0 of 2 for the next other one. We haven't seen that yet. There's 3 stages to building. So, 1 of 3 will be what we need currently. Then I guarantee it will ask for more stuff, and you'll build up a bit more, and then a bit more to finish it off. And each one requiring more resources would be my... That's my guess. That seems the most logical thing. This is the main mission, is that. Thing is, we haven't got any resources yet, and the metal beam facility we haven't got back up and running yet. So that's something we'll need to look out for, I think. It did say demolition first though, but there's nothing to demolish by the looks of things. What's Active Explorer? That's new. I didn't see it come up before. That's Active Explorer. I can't do anything else while it's doing it. There we go, and it comes down again. So does that mean we can... Yeah, there we go. So Active Explorer shows more of the map, and I'm guessing this will show some hidden objectives along the way. So it looks like we're on a bit of an island here, to be fair. This kind of corner. We know a road we've got to build there. There's seems to be a lot of water there. That's another building we need. 5 beams, 5 concrete slabs. Substation oil pumps. So this is what we've got to build, the oil rig. I like the fact that that scan made this come up though. That's quite good. We need to get the beams up and running though. For a start. I thought we'd end up demolishing something here, but it doesn't seem like we are. Ah, there's concrete slabs there though, are they not? We may actually have some stuff here. If we go across the infrastructure, no it's not. Vehicles, and then resources. So we can see the trees that can be cut. Is there anything showing up resource-wise? There's metal. I think that looks like a pipe, but it may not be any good. I was just seeing if there's any concrete slabs around. Lots of metal to recycle. The substation there needs power. Things we can sell. That's where we've got to put the resources for that. Under oil storage. So there's all these buildings here. Can they be demolished is the question. Currently, it doesn't say they can. There's something there. Look at that. New build. There by looks of things. I don't know if things will show up better if we go closer to them, maybe. Yeah, if we're going around to find stuff, is probably the way forward. Obviously, we can build the road. I don't know. Some things may not show up until we get closer to them. We may, if I do what I'm about to do, I think we might flip the vehicle over. So let's not do that. It seems like there's a lot more detail to this now. I don't quite know what the 0-4 in the top right means. Slowly, does it slowly, slowly. Don't tip. Thank you. Okay, you used to be able to drive into trees like that and knock them down. It doesn't seem like you can anymore. Maybe you can. Put a little force into it, it does do it. There you go. So although I was scanning previously, the object scanner, I just want to see if anything else shows up. Doesn't seem to. But I also wanted to know if there's anything we could demolish here to get resources, because currently obviously we haven't got the resources to do the building here, which is the main objective. We may have to rely on side objectives maybe to start with to get stuff underway. Ah, ghost buildings, there we go. This is a new type of objective, hidden construction objective. This objective is not visible on the map and can be unlocked by discovering and visiting special places. The purpose of this activity is to rebuild some of the broken buildings. To do so, you must bring the requested resources. So it did say some objectives can only be found via finding. Build the structure, you must bring the required resources. The list of resources can be seen on the left of the screen, similar to other objectives. Also, you can find ghost buildings that are available to construct in eagle view. They have special icons. So if they can't be seen on the map, that means the map is an eagle view. So I don't quite know what eagle view is yet. This is all you need to know to successfully restore special buildings. Some of them are used as part of a bigger objective. Some can be used after rebuilding to produce resources. You look on your mission to restore the area. So eagle view hasn't come up as an option yet. So what is eagle view? Because obviously we've got the map. But the map doesn't show these objectives, only eagle view does. Ah, that's hide sub objective. Where is eagle view then? Infrastructure. Yeah, there's nothing showing for eagle view. My thing was, can we destroy these buildings to get resources? Was my big question. I don't think Active Explorer will do anything. We'll just try again. So yeah, it hasn't said what eagle view is as of yet, which is a bit concerning because obviously that's the only way of seeing some of these hidden objectives. I don't know how to activate it though. Mainly because it's not told us. I was hoping some of these buildings could be destroyed and we gain the resources from them. You couldn't find that either. No, it seems weird. If you can only see some objective in eagle view, what is eagle view? And how do you access it? But nothing's showing up currently. There's a building partially built here, which is what I'm thinking the actual eagle view will show up. Let's try Codex and see if that tells us about eagle view. It's only if they've added it to this. They may not have done. Bases, objectives. Nothing there. I don't know if they've added onto the codex. If they haven't, it won't help us. Ghost buildings, there we go. Is that it? I wanted Eagle View. Tree Crusher, we've got to use that at some point. Burrow through. There's got a spelling wrong there. The through dense forest is spelled wrong. Demolition, we've already seen that. We've already done one bit. Toy trucks, we know about those. There's nothing about it there, is there? E-Play, good morning. How are you? Thanks for the like, much appreciated. How are you this morning? Hope you're well. So there's nothing in here that I can see about Eagle View. Which we can't use Eagle View. How are we meant to find these ghost buildings and fix them? Because we can't see the resources needed without them. Map layers. No. Not helpful there. It doesn't show us anything. Marching mode manual. Obviously we need to see if we can see it, because that would help us massively. Bridges. Ghost buildings. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay. So nothing in the codex about ghost buildings. Yeah, map plan I looked at, there's nothing there either. Resources, so that's infrastructure, is it? But still can't see it. Nothing showing up on infrastructure. So I was hoping these could be demolished so we could gain resources, but I don't think we can. Resources are there. Map layers. See, map layer, you would have thought it'd be there, wouldn't you? Oh, hang on. Show buildings. Show landmarks. No, doesn't do it either. Hide sub-objective. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's how you make the objectives come up more. That's fine. I want ghost buildings, though. I don't know how we get ghost buildings, then. I'm not too bad. Not too bad, thank you. Today, I turned 40, which isn't a number that's amazing, to be fair, but I'm doing good. Doing good. I'm not doing anything special for it, so we don't need anything said. It's just all good. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing about ghost buildings. I don't quite understand where it is. So, it looks like the first thing we need to do then, from where we are now, is build the road. By the looks of things, because we can't do the main objective without resources. So we need to build a road to the oil rig location. Seems to be our first plan of attack. Although we need to scout it out and see what's there. There is a tree there that needs destroying, to be fair. So this road is going from there to down there. And there's the oil rig. No, it's not the oil rig, sorry. That's going to the... that's for the beams, isn't it? So, I think is we do the bridge first. It would seem. Oh, not bridge, sorry, the road first. That's... Okay, that's... we've already got this out. I want to drive this a little bit more, I think. And obviously we can scan for things with that. What's this over here? Oh, that's the metal. So that's the metal beam facility that we need to restore. So let's track that first, and from where we are now, we'll head over there and see if we can get it up and running, I think, before we do the road. Because that way that gives us a chance to hopefully get some resources. We have a couple of resources back from the building we demolished, but it did say we can only demolish buildings that come up as demolishable on the map, so it is restricted. You can't just destroy every building on the map. It does tell you which buildings you can and can't damage and get resources from. We have to keep looking at the map to find out which ones they are. Right, how are we getting out of here is the question. I think we've got to use that road there, don't we? by the looks of things. But yeah, Eagle mode, I don't quite understand how we can use Eagle mode if there's nothing showing up for it. Unless it's going to give... It told us about it, but didn't tell us how to activate it. Weirdly. This vehicle is definitely not as good as the other Scout vehicles in terms of how well it drives in conditions. It is struggling a little bit in some of the conditions. You don't go over there. Okay, I've driven around, I didn't really need to. Really struggling. Okay, the way out of here then is back down this way. Maybe it's going to show us Eagle View at some point, I don't know. It's weird that we don't know how to activate it. You would have thought it would have at least told us how to activate it by now. How deep is the water? How bad is this going to be? The low gear and diff lock on just in case. Might actually do diff lock on to be fair. It might help a little bit more. Just getting around. Okay, we'll go and see where the metal beam facility is, what we need to do to get up and running, because until we have that up and running, it looks like you can't just do the main objectives as you normally would. It seems like you do need to go and explore more before you can do the main objectives. Because you need to find them to actually get the resources that you need. Which is interesting. Normally you could just crack on. You can't now. Right, we want to head through the forest here, because we're heading over this way. Yeah, we can't just crack on and get stuff done. We actually have to explore to find what we need to fix up the items to the main objective, which is interesting. I don't mind that though. I like exploring and stuff. So that doesn't bother me. I actually like the idea that we have to wait because we need to look around and figure things out first. I can't quite see where we're going to end up. The handbrake is on. I know we're still moving. Right, the road is here. We want to head to our right hand side once we get to the road. Thought I put the handbrake on there, we didn't. I just realised. Okay, we want to be going up. I don't know if we can make it. That looks very boggy, so I don't think it's worth the risk at this point. We'll follow the road up, I think. Obviously, we'll activate the radar in a second as well, once we're near an area we've not looked at yet. Which is just round the other side of this road. And see what comes up. You can definitely see the destruction from the storm, though. This is all stuff we have to deal with. So far, though, it's interesting. As I say, it does look like there's a lot more emphasis on exploring, whereas previously you just followed the objectives. And you can do those quite simply just by following what it said. So I'm curious to see what else you have to do now. Right, let's active explore, see what comes up. I just want to know how to use Eagle Vision because we need that for ghost building. So I don't quite understand why it's not telling us. Thanks for liking, as much appreciated. Maybe it's something we can't do yet. Maybe a certain vehicle. Maybe I don't know. Right, what did that do with the map? Okay, we can see a bit better now. Beam production is there. The road we're currently on is here. It's actually going to take us there. Yeah, it's kind of a back road way in, I think. Yeah, it is. That's the main road there, though. I'm liking the ability to use this scanner, to be fair. I do like how that works. But, yeah, I don't understand the Eagle Vision. In Assassin's Creed, you held triangle. I just thought I'd try holding triangle. It didn't do anything. There is a tree down here blocking our path forward. It feels weird not changing gear manually to reverse like we do in Expeditions, to be fair. You don't have to, obviously. There is an auto bit, but I always try and change gear manually. But not doing it in this is just really odd. Come on, mount the trunk. Oh, actually, we can go straight through there. That fallen tree is blocking the path, obviously. We do need to get the new machine for getting rid of trees. What are we stuck on? We're not stuck on anything as far as... Oh, there is a stump there, look. We were on top of it by the looks of things. We're stuck on a trunk of a stump though. I'm not seeing some of these stumps weirdly. Right, we're okay again now. Bypass the tree that was blocking. We'll keep heading towards the beam facility. Then we can see what we need to do there at least. Okay. The road actually bends around that way, doesn't it? Rather than trying to get through these trees, which would be a nightmare. Let's follow the road, I think, if we can. Unless there be a tree down. But yeah, we need the beam facility so we can actually do the main mission. Or at least the first stage of it, which is building the first stage of both buildings. We obviously don't know where we can get electricity from either at the minute. I would like to use the new cable line for that, although it's slower. And I don't know if the not being on tracks is going to be bad for it or not. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, to be fair. So this is the main road, and this is the beam facility. By the looks of things. Right, we've got here. What else do we need? Okay, we've got to restore the metal beam production facility. So unlike normal, your actual list of objectives on the right hand side for the mission doesn't show up like that. You actually have to go into map and do that to activate it. So for this building, we need 2 concrete slabs, 3 pipes and 5 logs. Logs we can do easily. We've got log cutters, so that's not an issue. In terms of all the other resources, we've got to find them, I think. Now we have got 1 beam and 1 metal pipe from demolishing the first building. What we need is more buildings that can be demolished so we can actually get more resources from them, to be fair. But yeah, there's a greater emphasis on exploring first before trying to complete anything. Which in the base game, in the first DLC, that wasn't a thing. You just followed the objectives. You didn't need to explore as much. With this, you are actually meant to explore more. Right, we've scanned the area. And not much has shown up. There is something over this way, by the looks of things. It's where the problem is we need to find these resources more than anything else. I think we need to get this up and running first, so we can then get more resources, i.e. the beams. We go this to vehicles and then resources. Is there any resources laying around here? No. In fact, there isn't. There's no metal here either. Normally there'd be loads of metal that you could use, but there's nothing here. I'm not sure if I like the sub-objectives being hidden or not. I haven't quite figured that one out. Okay, well, we can't do anything else here by the looks of things at the minute. Until we find more buildings we can destroy for resources, we can't quite do that. There's lots of metal over here though, so we can use that when needed. Our best bet then is to keep exploring, I think, as that is the emphasis at the minute. From here then, that's a big old hill there. There is no road coming out of here, bar the way we came in. This does go down this way. Let's go head down there and see what that is there then. At the minute, there's no point. We can't do the objectives, that's the thing. Just for me, it's really alien that we can't do them immediately. There will be a convoy from here at some point. The yellow door there always tells you there's going to be a convoy either leaving or coming out of there at some point. Interestingly, there's no metal there. That's the interesting thing. Okay, I think we've got yeah, I've gone past it. There's a small side road on the right hand side, just there. As I say, this scout vehicle isn't as good as the others. It just doesn't. It struggles more in the conditions, I think, more than the others tend to. The radar thing's interesting. It's a good way of opening up the map a bit quicker. In terms of finding things, we're not finding very much. That first building we demolished right at the start, It's really the only building we've seen so far we can demolish. Considering we need resources, I would expect there could be more. And ghost buildings are bugging me. I don't like not knowing how to do something when it's already been said, explained that's what you need to do. That bugs the hell out of me. But it may be something we can't access yet, so I don't know. It's a weird one. Okay, so that's the remnants of something. I keep thinking X is a handbrake, but it's not. Let's scan and see what else shows up. I don't think that's something we can build by, can destroy by looks of things. We need to find more buildings to demolish though for the resources needed to get the beam production up and running at the very least. Right, what are we showing up? That didn't really show much up, did it really? There is something in the middle there. What is that? So it's yellow, so generally means sellable. I wonder if that's a toy truck. Potentially. Oh wow! I didn't know that. I've been scanning willy-nilly, not thinking. Oh wow, yeah, good point, Jake, man. Well spotted. So every time you use the radar, them tokens that you get on the right-hand side, they were originally fuel tokens when the game first released. They're not now. We're using those. Yeah. Well spotted, Jake, man. Well spotted. I didn't know that. Okay, so we need to be a bit more careful then. There is a radio tower here as well. No resources. We're lacking so many resources. I think we want to jump... Okay, let's jump into our other scout vehicle down here. And we're going to head down this road that we need to build. And just see what's up the oil rig. Because there might be something there. We're going to leave the radar for the minute. Mainly because I don't want to keep using up the tokens. We've been using it willy-nilly, not realising it actually costs us to use. So let's really jump into our other scout vehicle. And let's just double check what we gain from destroying the building. I think it's one pipe and one beam. And some scrap metal, yeah. Oh, and there's also a concrete slab there too. 2 beams, a concrete slab, and a pipe. So to restore the metal beam facility, steel beams, we need 3 pipes, 2. So we need 2 more pipes and 1 concrete slab that we're currently missing. Let's have a look down here. Basically, we need to find more buildings to destroy. I think that's the main aim at the minute. And there's going to be convoys coming out of here then looking at that. But yeah, we can't use the radar as much as I have been then. I didn't see it as an issue until you spotted that, Jake, man. But it does make sense. If it was that easy to explore by just using a radar. So we have wasted it. Have we wasted it? I suppose we've opened bits up, so we haven't really wasted it. But okay, so this is the road we need to build from here. Down there. And if we go this way, we'll open the map by driving this way too. We've got a sand quarry there. Does that need activating? Not by the looks of it. Why is my watch going off like crazy? Oh, okay. It's birthday messages, of course. So that's a sand quarry. It doesn't cost us by the looks of it to activate it. Yeah, sand quarry doesn't cost us. It does cover part of the road we need to build, but not all of it. Obviously we can object scan doesn't cost us anything, as it didn't previously. Oh, is that a dam there? Or is it a bridge? It looks like a dam, to be fair. There is a lot of looking at the map at the minute, I think. Right, this is a dam. There's a substation to the dam there too. And the southwestern tunnel is to our left. Let's go across the dam first. See what else we see. So we're looking for buildings we can destroy or resources we need for building. Okay, hang on. Dam find opportunity. So this is part of exploring to find objectives then. You've stumbled upon the local hydroelectric station and dam. Since the storms, it's been about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. This facility is critical. We needed it operational to power the oil rig and other oil infrastructure planning to install. No electricity, no oil pumping, that's just science. Get this power station back online, the whole region will light up again. Well, the parts we care about anyway. I'll send you details on what needs fixing. Spoiler alert, probably everything. Okay, so this has now opened up a new mission, which will be... So most missions now are seemingly side missions more than main missions, as the main mission seems to be very much a long-winded process that needs other things doing first. So restore the hydroelectric power plant. We need to deliver an object from over here, which is at the other oil rig that we need to build. There is an object to pick up there, looks like a transformer, and deliver it to here, and then replace the pipe. This objective we can do now. We have one pipe, so we can actually do that now, and we can deliver the objective now. And that will get that back up and running. That will give us power. So now we can clear a mission. We may as well do that first then. So in doing that, we need a decent vehicle. Don't think I can afford any of the new ones to use just yet. There is one particular one I was looking at, the Wayfarer craned cargo truck. Would be handy. Potentially. I don't know how much it is. I can sell vehicles, to be fair. We have got multiples of stuff we can sell. Where is the crane cargo truck, Wayfarer? There it is. We need 70,000 for that. We have got multiple bridge layers, to be fair. As we own every vehicle, what I'm thinking, I might sell a bridge layer or two. That will give us the money to hopefully buy that new vehicle and give the vehicle a good look at, as we've got some missions for it to do. And I don't mind selling bridge layers, to be fair. I still want one of every vehicle though, so if we haven't got a duplicate, we won't sell it. And it's whether or not it will give us enough money to do what we want to do here. They're all different. That's one bridge layer there. I haven't needed a bridge layer yet, to be fair. How much is that worth? 42. We've only got one of those, but that bridge layer would give us the money needed. Where's my other bridge layers? There we go. Oh, so one of these is worth 70,000. So we might as well sell a bridge layer because we have 3. One is the rusty version, then one normal. We've got 4 in fact. So we'll sell a bridge layer as we didn't need that many. The reason we had so many bridge layers is originally when we started the first DLC, it didn't tell you about bridges. So at the start, we didn't know you could make a replacement bridge once you deployed yours. It didn't explain that until the second map, but we've used them on the first DLC map. So that meant we just kept buying a new bridge layer every time we needed a new bridge. Obviously, that wasn't a good thing. We didn't have to do that. Right, we are going to go and buy the new crane vehicle then. I have a love-hate relationship with Wayfarers. If you've watched the playthrough right from the very start of the base game, the general normal Wayfarer is poor. Poor is an understatement. It is horrendous. Worst vehicle in the game. This is a Wayfarer, OFT 96 TST, but this one has a crane on it and can't carry as much cargo by the looks of things. But it looks very heavily set and built, so this could be interesting. So we'll buy that for the first time, a second DLC vehicle already bought. We'll deploy this on the garage, and what we'll do is drive up, grab the transformer, come back, pick up the one pipe we've got from demolishing the first building, and then we will go and take those to the dam and see if we can get that mission complete. This does seem to have all-wheel drive and diff lock, which I don't think the base Wayfarer does have, to be fair. But I think getting electricity up and running first seems to be at least a decent mission to do. We get some money for doing so as well. You might deliver some resources, we don't know. So we need to head basically out of the forward operating base and up. Right, let's see how this thing handles. It looks like it's going to be very stiff by the looks of things. So let's see. Let's say we'll come back and we'll pick up the pipe on the way back. Turning circle's not too bad. How's it going to handle mud? That's the big question. Well, I'd say it's already better than its counterpart. The base Wayfarer truck is horrendous in mud. This seems to actually manage it to some degree. It's always a plus point. It's slow, but obviously in the conditions, I'm not that surprised by that. The other Wayfarer wouldn't drive. Well, you can't drive it on mud; it doesn't move unless it's on a proper tarmac road or asphalted road. It doesn't go anywhere. Right, drive through the water or avoid the water. Kind of want to drive through to see if it can handle it. To be fair. Yeah, definitely at a cost, isn't it? Sorry, I just seen your chat message. Right, there's 2 lots of water to do here. So whether it's too deep, I kind of want to see how deep it is and how this handles it. But it suddenly gets, I think it's going to be too deep, to be fair. Come on. Yeah, there's no way it's getting through there. It's too deep. Let's reverse it back. We'll cut along the left-hand side of it. There's a chance that it would be shallow, but it's not. Now we do know there's towers to find. Again, similar to Assassin's Creed, they seem to be taking a few things from Assassin's Creed with Eagle Vision and towers. We haven't found the tower yet, but supposedly towers do something as well now. Although we don't quite know what just yet. We'll hopefully find one in due course. Of course, there's a tree blocking the road. Lots of tree stumps here too. I need to get round this. We might have to go through the trees here, trying to avoid the tree stumps. And there's lots of those too. Someone's been cutting down lots of trees to make our life harder. Why are you not reversing? There we go. I think we can squeeze through this gap. Definitely not making the start of this DLC easy, are they? They're actually putting quite a few obstacles in your way. Which is never a bad thing. Okay. We're going to be heading to the right here. I think we can skirt around the right hand side of that next lot of water, to be fair. Through these trees and to the right will take us back towards where we're going. Once you get the transformer on board, we've still got to go back to our fob to actually pick up the metal pipe. So we do have to head back there. Right, we need to go round this. This doesn't handle too badly. Obviously, it does struggle in some conditions by the looks of it. But it's actually alright. For the size of it, it does feel a little bit underpowered. But then, it is the conditions more than anything else, I think. I didn't know we could break that stump there. I thought it would actually stay. Right, go left. See, its turning circle isn't the best. It struggles a little bit. But then I'm not that surprised. For the length of it, it's expected to not have the best turning circle. Right, we'll keep to the right here. Obviously we're going to head back, which could be a problem. We'll see. What we're stuck on is a stump ahead of us. Couldn't see one, but some of the stumps are hidden underneath bushes and things. Still got to find this. No! Ah! Roll. Keep rolling. It's going to stall, I think. Yeah. I don't want to recover it. I want to use it. Ah! Okay, in trying to avoid the water, went a little bit too far left and managed to go over. We're obviously going to have to get a vehicle to come and help us. But I don't want to use a different vehicle for the mission. I want to use that. We'll deploy the Zilks, the heavy crane. One of those things, sometimes you fall over, you can't avoid these things sometimes. Okay. We know where we're going, we're just going to get there. there's no point recovering it because we've got to drive all that way again. I might as well send the crane there. You can see how it's struggling with some of the conditions though. But these things happen, unfortunately. Alright, maybe I shouldn't try to take a shortcut through there. Now this Zilks is pretty handy in most conditions. It does look like some of the DLC vehicles won't be available until we start the second map by looks of things. Because I'm sure that list we looked at the start of the stream there isn't as many as what it said. So I think it is missing some currently. Right, that's the water. I think we went left last time, didn't we? I'm going to go right this time. Can't see through the trees. The Zilks is very capable when it comes to most terrain, to be fair, so it's always a dependable vehicle to use when we need it. So far though, the map is definitely more challenging than some of the base game and first DLC maps. There's a lot more involved in terms of it's not just handed to you. They have made things more difficult, which a lot of people have been asking for, to be fair. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Difficulty is sometimes really good. Right, we're right where the vehicle was. I do think that route we just took now, definitely quicker than the route we took with the other vehicle. Should have come that way first of all. Right, vehicle we need to get back on its feet is there. We're not in the best position, are we, here? Right, there we go. Anchors. Crane. It feels so long since I've played this, I'm forgetting some of the controls, to be fair. Right, we've got to be careful not to tip ourselves over here. There obviously is some weight to this. As I say, we don't have damage on only because when we began the game originally, when it first released, damage wasn't a thing. As obviously now it is. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted to do. I kind of want to attach it, maybe singly, to actually get it go up the way I want it to. Is that the only bit I can attach to? If I can pull it round this way. Come on, get back on your wheels. Really not wanting to do what I wanted to do, is it? I need it just to tip over. Come on. Do what I'm asking. Can't for the life of me get this to tip the way I want it to. Come on. There's no other attachment point, is there? So, for some reason, we can only attach it from underneath. I don't quite understand why that is. I'm going to try and drop it and roll it. Oh, nearly. I'm going to try and maybe nudge it across, maybe. Can we go low enough? Yeah. No. Come on. There we go. It's back on its feet. Took a bit of doing, but it is done. Right, let's swap vehicle. Back in the Wayfarer truck. Right, we need to be a bit more careful then with this, it seems. Don't. Do I just keep rolling? I put it down on a tree stump, I think, by the looks of things. And obviously, that wasn't good. Okay. We're not having much luck with this today, are we? So far. I need to move this closer, we'll tip it back over again. But yeah, not having much luck so far with the new Wayfarer. I'm not going to go low enough, am I don't think. Right. What about single attach point? Might not be able to go further enough to be fair. Right. Oh, okay. It's because we're higher up than that is at the minute. So I can't get low enough. We're on a bit of a ledge. Might just try and ram it, to be fair. That might do what we need. Anchors off. Clearly. Come on. Thought I had it there, to be fair. No, too far. There we go. Help put the handbrake on, wasn't it? We're hoping for the Wayfarer truck to be better. Although some of it is my driving, I would say, more than just the truck's fault. But we've now rolled it twice. Right. Actually going we want to go up in there. Yeah, rolling it twice wasn't what I was hoped for, but there we go, it does happen. Right, I do want to try and use the road here, because we've got to try and get to a certain part of this area to get the item to pick up. This is a transformer by the looks of things. Tree stumps galore. Bane of my life. We can obviously get rid of the tree stumps, we can grind them away, and we may have to sooner rather than later, I think. Okay, we need to figure out how to get to the item we need to pick up, because it looks like we've got a bridgeway to use. There's a pipe there. That's a good pipe, I think, as well. We'll leave that here, because obviously we need it for here. But we need to get over here to pick up the item we need. So for that, we need to get onto there, which I think we do through here. But yeah, I only just saw the pipe there, to be fair, so that's one pipe. We have got one back at our base as well, from demolishing that building. Disappointingly, although we haven't opened a massive amount of the map, we've only seen one building we can demolish so far. I was hoping for more, in all honesty. When it says ghost building in Eagle Vision, I wonder if that does mean them blue buildings. Because I can't see what else it means. If we can't activate Eagle Vision ourselves, I don't quite know what it actually wants us to do with that. Like, we can't see anything else. Right, we need to be careful here, obviously. We fall off in the water. It's game over, start again kind of thing. Stop, 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 stop. That's close. Slowly, slowly. Catch you, monkey. Right. So the transformer we're picking up is just to our right hand side here. Again, we don't quite know how this is going to handle weight, and transformers generally are quite heavy. This will be interesting. I don't know if this has actually got anchor points. It may not have any. Find out in a second. Right, there's a transformer. I don't know if it's worth picking the pipe up from here. There we go, there's our anchors. I did wonder if we had them. Right, crane for the first time. In comparison, that's a very good point. How much can this lift compared to some other cranes? Because our other cranes are generally okay. So our, where are they? The Mule and the Voron are generally ones that we use a lot. They can pick up 5 ton of lift weight. Whereas what we're using can pick up 15 ton. Okay. That's quite good to know. So this is definitely going to be better at picking up items like this. Yes, with ease. Normally with the other vehicles we'd struggle a little bit picking things up like this. They've always kind of struggled to try and get it up in the air, to be fair. There we go, rotation. It's been such a long time since we've done this. We're getting buttons. Right, it's going to sit on top like that, because it won't go any further, which is going to make us very top heavy. Doesn't quite fit in. I think I'm potentially thinking of not going back to our base and picking up the pipe and picking the one up from here. Although actually, we've got to head back that way no matter what, I think, looking at it. Because this route here, obviously we need to do a road here, but we'd have to come through here, which would be a nightmare. That looks like we need to build a bridge as well. So we've got to head back to main base anyway, I think. Okay, detach. Crane back in. Anchors. Strap cargo. It is strapped in, and we are ready to go. Obviously, first of all, we need to get back across that bit there. Now, we need to be very careful, because we are going to be very top heavy. See how this handles weight as well. The crane itself, definitely better than the other ones. This is nowhere near as quick as our other small cranes that we use a lot. Mule, Voron. They're extremely quick compared to this. This is more slow and methodical, but it's maybe one of our go-to trucks now, to be fair. It handles well. It's not as quick, but the fact it can pick up heavier loads, carry more essentially, I think is a good thing. So, yeah, instead of the Voron and the Mule, we may be using this a lot more. Although the Mule and the Voron are very good for exploring as well. And if you do find something, then taking it with you, essentially. Right, what happens if we go down this way? That will take us round that way. Just trying to think the best way out of here. There is a road here, you see. I think we use that road on the right, to be fair. Either way, we've got to head back to base, pick up the pipe and take that with us, and then we'll restore it just to the dam. Other than the fob that we did at the start of the map, that'll be our first mission properly done, I think, once we get that up and running. But yeah, we need to be careful. We are very top heavy. I think if there wasn't a usage of tokens for the radar, I would just walk around the whole, or drive around the whole map, pressing the radar all the time. But in some ways, the actual fact there is a limit to usage based on tokens. The only other use for tokens really that I used them for was using quarries more than anything else. We didn't really use them for transporting vehicles anywhere. It was generally for quarries. So we can still utilise the radar quite a bit. It's not as openly as we were to start with. Okay, the way this came was definitely the better way to come, I think. Just going to move this forward out of the way. But yeah, through the trees, the way this came was so much easier than what we did originally with the Wayfarer. So that's the way we want to go. We're just going to be so careful now of hills, because this will topple over really easily. We can generally, we may just, we should be able to follow the tracks that the train made, to be fair. To get back to base. Don't do it. Obviously the height now in the trees potentially could be a problem. Lack of visibility is definitely a problem. Going in cab doesn't help. Sometimes it can help, but it's not a view we utilise that much. But I don't think it's a help at the minute. Got to be careful not to tip, obviously. That's why I'm taking it a little bit easier than we normally would. Can't see roughly where it went last time. Oh, there is actual road here. Is that a road or is that just our tracks, maybe? Might just be our tracks. Thank you for the like, it much appreciated. I'm excited to get our first proper mission done, though. As I say, it's interesting the main missions can't be really utilised and done yet. The focus has to be a lot more on side missions and exploring, which the game hasn't really pushed that much towards normally. It's definitely a different way of doing things, and not in a bad way either. Like I say, the difficulty level of this map is really good. Some people won't like it, they'll think it's not to their taste because it's not as easy as the base game stuff. But I can see there's going to be a few complaints and bad reviews, I would say. A lot of people they want an easy time, you know. Some people don't have the time to put into games like this, so they want easier times to negate the lack of time they have, and that's not a bad thing. But I think the game will receive a few negative reviews because of that. Have I got rid of that stump by pulling it out? There's a few stumps here we're trying to avoid to get back onto the roadway. There we go. If we follow this to the left, we'll see our fob on the left hand side. I think. Is there more water to reverse? No. No. Okay, so we need to head to the right here. Oh, it's back the other way actually, isn't it? It's up there behind us. So if we head back to the road or the track that's here, it's not really a road to be fair. And that will take us back to our main base. We need to then stick the pipe on the back. And then we can go and do the dam and get that mission complete. So far though, what are we? An hour and a half? 2 hours nearly in? It's not telling me on the screen how many hours. It's on a 7:30, so nearly an hour and a half, and we've done the fob at the start and explored a bit. That's how much more there is to look at and do and figure out. Whereas normally we would have just probably raced through a few of the main objectives immediately. So it's definitely an interesting way of doing things. But as we were saying with Jake Man earlier, the new SAR truck seems a bit weird because it's one that you had a trader to, and you can't do traders in this game. It seems like it's something they're adding in, potentially, otherwise it's pointless. But then it's the same as the Algo Allegro truck, the SAR truck. It's pointless. It doesn't do anything. The only time we've used it is when the mission has told us to use that vehicle and gives it to us to use. Other than that, it's not something that actually does anything. I don't quite understand why it's in the game. So there is a potential for that vehicle, the SAR truck, potentially not to actually have a use, as we've seen that previously. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'd rather it had a use than not, to be fair. I was all really excited as well to use the wrecking ball right at the start of the game. We did use it right at the beginning. That's really good, but that's it. We've not done anything else with it since, which is a bit of a disappointment, to be fair. Alright, I don't think our crane here is actually going to be useful for putting this on the back of us. So let's quickly jump into the main garage and we'll grab another crane. We want the Epic will do. Because we need to stick that on the back and our crane probably won't reach over to do so because of the position of the transformer. So what we need to do is balance this on the back. What I will do, it's pretty swap truck. I just want to, we need to, open sideboards. I didn't know you can actually open the side. Okay, I didn't know that. You can actually open the sideboards of the vehicle. I don't know if you can drive with them open though. We'll have to, once we've unloaded, we're going to have a look at that. I didn't see that option until just now. The sideboards actually open up. It makes for easier loading at the very least. I don't think you can drive with them open though. I guess you can't, but we'll have to test it once we've delivered these. Be interesting to see actually. But yeah, didn't spot that option immediately. Obviously it would help us with the transformer if we could. Okay, we're just going to put this on the back. Put as level as we can really. It's equal on both sides to a degree. Come on. Just a little bit more. There we go. Right, let go of that. Swap vehicle. Strap it down. Oh, I can't because of the crane. I hate when it does that. Crane's in the way for strapping. Move it this way. In fact, bolt crane. Will that allow us to do it now? Yeah, there we go. All strapped up, pipes on board. So we're going to follow the road here and head towards the dam. We need to deliver the transformer to there and then afterwards replace that pipe. That's what we're doing first and foremost. So we come out of here and along the dirt track to the hydroelectric plant. And once we've unloaded both things, we'll have a look at these opening sideboards and see if we can drive them open. Because if we can, that's a massive game changer when it comes to using this vehicle. Because things like the transformer would sit lower if we could open sideboards and drive with them. If we can't, it's not the end of the world. It was fairly stable on the way there. In fact, after picking up the transformer, it was probably more stable than it was when we were on the way to pick it up, to be fair. Because we did end up rolling it a couple of times. Oh, no, it's gone. Can I save with the crane? Yes. There's a little bit of a slope there that caught us out. There we go. Luckily managed to save it there. I wasn't sure if we was going to be able to, but we did. Right, the transformer goes over there. Can we get close to it? Because if not, we're going to need to bring the big crane over. Can we go through here? I think these fall down. I don't know if the crane's going to reach, to be fair. Although we can drive down the other side. Let's see if we can get around the other side then. Because if we can, then we should be able to do it that way. Not worried about the fence. There's a gap there. Hopefully we can get through it. And the turning circle of this may potentially stop us getting down there. Well, actually, I don't think we can make that gap. No, I don't think we can get down there. We're not going to fit through. Okay, we're going to have to test the crane out and see if we can reach from where it is. We can't get down that right-hand side there, it doesn't seem. So we have to stick to the original plan, I think. Which means going over that one. Keep pressing X thinking that's the handbrake and it's not. Right, anchors. This may not work. We may need to bring the big crane, we shall see. Why are we bouncing? We're bouncing a lot for some reason. Don't think it's going to reach. No, no way that's reaching. It's full extension. Okay, we need a bigger crane. Right, what we'll do then is put it on the floor here, and then we'll go and bring the other crane down that we used to help ride ourselves a minute ago. We'll go and grab that. But we'll go and do the pipe first. Just want to test something. We were saying about sideboards coming down. We can actually test now and see if we can drive with them. So we can open, can we, I don't know if we can strap first then open. If that's strap cargo, it won't let us, no, okay, so unstrap cargo only. Let's go on a bit more level surface. I don't want the pipe rolling out essentially. May actually need a big crane for the pipe too. Right, unstrap. Let's have a look at these open sideboards. Okay. Can we strap like that? You can. Can you drive like that? You can. Okay, that makes things a lot different. That's actually amazing, the fact we can do that. So it means you can, although actually there are bits on the edges there, so even driving with them open isn't necessarily going to help us massively, because obviously you have the issue of there is still little bits that will stop you carrying larger objects. It definitely will help loading a little bit more, I think. Right, have I activated? No. Anchors. Okay, get the old pipe out. We may as well bring it up with this because we may need it for scrap. We know we're going to need to make beams and pipes. So we may as well bring it up because it can be recycled. Whether we take it back to us, I don't know yet. There we go. Right, let's pick up our one. Let's unstrap. Definitely will make loading, unloading cargo a bit easier to have it with the sides down. But that it's a completely different type of vehicle to what we've had before, and I like that. I like the fact it's not the same as what we've had. This is something new, don't we use differently. Yeah, I do. That's a good point. You probably could lay them sideways, couldn't you? Between kind of like the junctions. That's a very good point, actually. I do like the look of some of these new vehicles and the fact they do things differently to what we've had previously. I think is really good. I don't know if I can actually reach. I might not be able to reach. Oh, I can reach. There we go. Right. Pipe is in. We're going to leave this here. We're going to jump into the big crane back at the base over here. And then we're going to bring that down and put in the transformer. And then that is job done. Anchors. Okay. We haven't got far to go. We just need to drive this the same way. And we'll stick the transformer in. And that's mission complete. And that's the first mission I think then done, other than the fob, to be fair. So let's get this transformer done. Obviously there's a road to build there as well. We definitely need to bridge the other side as well, to be fair, otherwise you're never going to get there. Right, can we try not to fall over this time? This will be a lot harder to save if we roll this time. So I need to be a bit more careful. I think the damage to the ground that we've done helps us there, really, to be fair. The fact we'd already made some markings on the floor, I think it helped. Right, let's get this over. Anchors. Okay, we're stable, that'll do. Put this up. Obviously we'll get over the other one and across. I'm pretty sure we can reach. I'm not 100%. Need to go higher. Is that as high as we can go? There we go. Right. Let's get the transformer in place, and then that is the electric dam up and running again. Job complete, or mission complete, I should say. Anything going to pop up? No. It did sound the patch notes is an improved save system. Haven't noticed that yet. Okay. So that is that mission complete. Power is now restored. We know we need power over here, so we do need to get the new cable layer at some point to do that. In theory, we should do that first before we put the road down, because the minute we rebuild this road, if we use that for taking the power along that edge, which seems to be the best route to take to here, and then come through maybe the trees here, we obviously want the power cable down first before we put the road down. I can't see, so that's where we've got to get the power to, unless we find another building with power, which we haven't seen so far. We go across to electricity. Yeah, there's no power anywhere else we've seen so far. So if that's the main point, I think we need the new cable layer. We can follow the roadway, and obviously we can then put sand over that and lay the road. And then we'll have to come through the trees here with it, and down this way. And that'll restore power then there, which is another part of the mission we need to do anyway. We still need to find the other stuff that's around here. There's the southwestern tunnel. There's also something this way we haven't been to yet. So let's jump back in their scout vehicle quickly and just have a quick look further forward, because it does say, well, I think we're going to be using this potentially as a route. So even that, we may need to extend our road a little bit. I've got a feeling there's going to be a convoy from there at some point. But we still need more resources. We still need more things, concrete slabs and things. Without them, we can't get the beam facility up and running. Right, what have we got here? And he did say you've got to explore to find the missions more than being given to you. Okay, this needs 2 roads looking at that. Is he going to give us the mission though? Okay, that's weird. So although we can see the road needs building here... Oh, it is giving it to us now. Is that this one? Yeah, so this needs a dual road. Looking at that, that's a new one. Obviously, we've widened roads ourselves previously, but a dual road is definitely new. And that's leading to somewhere north. Normally, I would crack on with the missions and explore once everything else was done. I think for the time being, I want to explore a bit because we need resources. That's the thing. Without the resources, we can't actually complete anything. So we need to have a proper look around. And I would use the radar vehicle, but now we know it costs us. Got to be a bit less usage of it. Although that is also on the other side, so we can use that for exploring the left-hand side in due course. So this road that we've got to build must be going somewhere. Although we're now a little bit stuck in the mud. We'll go back. I want to go on that right-hand side, I think, more than anything else. This mud suddenly got very deep very quickly. There we go. Yeah, this will need a road then, or 2 roads. There must be two-way traffic at some point coming if we're building 2 roads, to be fair. That's going to be extremely wide as well, isn't it? New branches and stuff that may need to get rid of. Right, there is a road to the right-hand side there, a little track by the looks of things. This is going to be a big road build as well, to be fair. We're going to need to find where there's a quarry, because otherwise sand is probably potentially going to be an issue. There's also a tree down there. Looking at that. But yeah, it's interesting we can't just crack on with missions. It's definitely very alien to me to do that. Right, we've got a building here of some sort. Is that a building that can be demolished? It's not telling us. How do we... So it did say the only way of knowing a building can be demolished, it tells you on the map. That's not telling us anything. I was hoping that would tell us it could be demolished, but... Because it looks like a building that's no good for anyone. But nothing's come up to say it can be demolished. Right, we'll keep heading up the main road and see what else we've got. Obviously, we're looking for the concrete facility to get that up and running. Whatever's going to be required for that. We need to find that. We also need to find the pipe facility as well. The only one we know where it is the steel beams. This is a bit of a climb, isn't it? I want to use the wrecking ball again, but we've got to find a building we can use it on. Okay. That's an issue. Oh, hang on. I keep pressing the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button there. Can we go back? I don't want to skip and go back. Okay, it is giving us the mission here. The RoadCraft is a major tourist attraction, but an avalanche has blocked the road leading to it. The local authorities have asked us to clear the road to help revive the region's tourism industry. Heavy machinery alone won't be enough. Explosives are needed. Nice. We found some explosives in the port warehouses. What's left is to deliver them to the avalanche site. Casting the air. I missed the first bit by pressing the X accidentally. Local officials are pushing hard to get it fixed. Apparently they think medieval architecture tourism is making a comeback and should make a nice side dish to oil production. Talk about diversifying your income streams. Could you take a look at rebuilding the access road? It'll earn us some serious goodwill with the locals, which never hurts when you're drilling in their backyard. Kelly. Not 2 roads, one. It's going to be a very wide road. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Terry. Hope you're well. But yeah, that will be a very wide road from the end. So we need to deliver the cargo safely to here. The cargo is all the way over there, which we've not been to yet, to clear the avalanche. Now there was a bit of a track road here leading towards that way. That's where we probably need to explore next, to be fair. Ah, there's an abandoned building. We found the building could be demolished. But I think we've got to get the avalanche done first. So that's the second building we've seen that can be demolished so far. But yeah, I think we need to get that destroyed first. The explosives to be able to get round there to actually do anything. So if that's the case then, let's head back down the road and go to that track we saw. And we'll use that to head towards where these explosives are. Obviously we can't carry them in this vehicle, but at the minute we've just got to explore. We need to find resources more than anything else. We can't complete anything until we've got more resources. Okay, where was the track we saw? By that other building. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wide road. It won't be 2 separate ones by the end of it. We're generally widening out the roads we make anyway. Just that one's going to be extra wide, essentially. How are you this morning, Terry? Hope you're well. Okay, a bit more water to get through here. How deep is it is the question. And the tree blocking the way too. That's not deep at all. It's muddy. Yeah. So I always enjoy exploring, but I always tend to keep focus on the missions and keep like the actual story going, essentially. So it feels very alien to have to not do any of that. Okay, so this track has a choice of directions. I don't think we want to head up. We obviously want to see where these explosives are, so we know how to get to them to actually go and pick them up. So we'll keep heading this way. I've got this itch that I just want to crack on and get stuff done, but at the minute we can't. But what have we got there? That's a sand quarry. Let's go and have a quick look at it. There might be resources here. There might be a building to be demolished potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed. Good, glad you're good. Okay, got some scrap metal there. Now this was red, this sand quarry. We need 10 tokens to activate. Because we spent 3 on the radar, that's now going to put us behind. We won't be able to activate that just yet, by the looks of things. Which is going to not help us. Okay, let's keep heading to towards these explosives, I think. What do you think of it so far, the new DLC? Are you enjoying it? What's your thoughts? Okay, we can head that way. As I say, I think some people won't enjoy the difficulty factor. The fact that you've actually got to find these things, find the missions, find the resources, people I think will get annoyed with that. As I like the challenge. Okay, find a way around these down trees. So any more buildings we can find we can demolish, potentially that's resources waiting for us, that's the thing. So we do need more. And also, Terry, have you managed to activate Eagle Vision yet? Because currently, I haven't got, although it's told us about it, we've not found a way to actually activate it to see these ghost buildings. It told us it was a thing, but never gave us any way of doing it. Right, we've got 2 ways to go. There's a radio tower there that needs power. Up that way. Let's head up there, I think. And see where that leads. Obviously, we're trying to go round and get to where these explosives are to see how we get there with something else that can go and pick them up. The mud is harder. Yeah, the mud is definitely harder. But obviously, oh, hang on. Something new. The mud is harder, but then I don't know if the mud is actually itself harder or the conditions are just worse than other maps. The communication tower is a hidden objective. We found a hidden objective that gives you full vision of a nearby zone as a reward, so it's worth looking for. The objective is not visible on the map and can be unlocked by discovering and visiting special places. So we were told about this earlier that you have to find hidden objectives, which is encouraging that exploration more than anything else. And this is one of them. So this is a hidden objective. So let's head to the radio tower and just see what it needs. I think it's just power potentially. And then it will give us the area view, I think, if we complete it. Let's do that. Obviously the mission hasn't shown up yet, although it's told us about it. I think we have to get closer for it to actually show up in our log. Here we go. To activate the communication tower. Oh wow, it's got 2 pipes there too. So those 2 pipes we actually need for another mission. And this needs power. That's all it needs. Infrastructure, electricity. And that will give us 2 tokens as a reward. So the nearest place to power then is the dam. So we're going to have to lay power cables all the way up here. We're going to need to do that before the road then, essentially, aren't we, I think? And that will give us 2 tokens and give us a zone view as well. By the looks of things. There is also 2 pipes there that we need for the other missions. So, if that's the case, is it just the pipes? Yeah. So that means we have 3 pipes in total. Because there's also 1 over here we found. We need 9 for the oil rig. So that's 3 towards the oil rig being done. Oh, actually, no. That's the 3 pipes we need for the steel beam facility. So we still need 2 concrete slabs to find. Potentially, then we can get the beam facility up and running. But what I think first, while we're here, is we get the cable layer, the brand new one, and see what it's like, and get the radio tower activated with power. Let's do that. As we're here anyway. Just needs power. There we go. Okay. So if we go to the garage, we can always sell one of our bridge layers if we haven't got enough money to buy the new cable layer. Obviously, the previous cable layer we used a lot and was really good. Really enjoyed using it. and it is quicker. This lays cable at 2.5 meters per second and on tracks, so it did better in most conditions. But the new cable layer is brand new, so we've got to try it at the very least. Now, the downside to this, by the looks of it, it's on a tractor unit, so it's not going to be as good in muddy conditions. And it only lays cable 2.2 meters per second, which is slower. Have you figured out how to do Eagle Vision, Terry? It tells you at the start about Eagle Vision, and I can't find it. I just wondered if you had managed to find it yet. So let's buy this new cable layer, the Hollander M7. And we do currently own one of every vehicle, hence why we buy things quite willy-nilly. There it is. Let's deploy. So it does have diff lock and it does have all-wheel drive, which is really helpful because I was a bit concerned it wouldn't have either of those. It does look very different. We know the back end will be a lot thinner than the original cable layer. The cable layer originally, the back end when you activate it, was very wide, shall we say, and caught trees very easily. This back end swings around a lot by the looks of things. And this vehicle is very jumpy, which I wasn't expecting. I suppose a tractor unit, you should expect that. Big tyres, it's going to be jumpy. Whereas the other cable layer is very compact and low to the ground on the track. Yeah, this is very different to that. And not necessarily in a good way. Let's just see how it lays cable. Obviously through forest I think this will be better because it's thinner, so you should be able to glide for a forest laying cable quite easily, whereas the other cable layer got stuck quite a few times in trees. But other than that, currently I'm not sure how good this will be. Open map and look at resources. We did that and couldn't see it. So resources are there, and that shows you the ghost buildings. Obviously, we've got the mission buildings here, but they're not ghost buildings because they're missions. Are they not? But it came up and told us about ghost buildings, but you had to only can't be viewed from the map. Could only be viewed in Eagle Vision. But they said you can't see them from the map. It specifically said you can't see ghost buildings on the map. You've got to use Eagle Vision. You think that's what they're calling Eagle Vision, is infrastructure and resources and stuff? If that's the case, that's a bit poor. But all the buildings currently visible we can see without being on infrastructure, without being on the resources mode, and yet it told us you can't see them on the map. So any buildings that are ghost buildings we shouldn't be able to see, according to what it said. Unless I read it wrong. Because currently it means there's no ghost buildings. Despite telling us that there is one there, there can't be any because we can see them all. That's what's really confusing about it. Okay, firstly, where does this start? Is the question. Okay, we're here. So we want to be on this edge here really until we get to the mud track. That's here. And then I think we follow the mud track up here and then head left here. That's my thinking. There is another track going left here, but I'm not sure where that leads to. So we'll follow the other one, I think. So we need to be on this mud to our left. Obviously we'll try and start on the edge of it, I think. Right, are we on the edge of it? No, we're just slightly out. It shows the one you can destroy. Yeah, no, it does show the one, but so the ones it destroys, it said can be seen on the map, and only seen on the map, which is fine. But it said ghost buildings can't be seen via the map, which is what's confusing. Because currently every building we can see via the map tells we're not ghost buildings. You can see it. Oh, can you see the ones you fight? Oh, okay. But it doesn't quite work the way I'd hoped then. Right, we should be right at the edge here. Cable layer's in for the first time. Let's see how the new cable layer does. We do know it's slower at laying cable. But as you can see, it is a lot thinner than the other cable layer. So through trees and things, I think will be really good. hopefully. The kind of damage to the ground doesn't need. Similar to the other one, to be fair. I think the benefit to this will be the fact it goes through forest a lot easier. You're not going to get caught up on stuff as easily. That's going to be the big benefit, I think. Right. The track starts here, roughly. We should be able to go onto this. And as we need to make a road here anyway, it doesn't matter laying this first, actually is a benefit. What I'll try and do is go down the middle, I think. And this all needs standing before we build the road anyway, so doing this is helpful. Won't be seen once it's done. I will say, definitely slower. You can see the difference compared to the base cable layer. I've got caught something there. Less stable. And it feels really weird. The controller is vibrating constantly. I would rather not have a spoiler, no. I'm just going off what the game's told us so far, that's the thing. I haven't seen anything, I don't go and look at anything, I don't read anything about the game before we play it, so I don't know anything else. I only know what the game's told us, to be fair. Yeah, it's very jumpy. I think it's obviously the back end hitting rocks and things, but it is very jumpy. I'm not a fan of this cable layer compared to the base game one. I think this is quite poor compared to that. Well, hang on. So that locked us a minute ago to low gear. When laying cable, we were locked to low gear. Low gear's now suddenly disappeared. Hence why we've got a bit more speed. It's weird. But yeah, this is definitely not as good as the base cable layer. Don't laugh. Okay. Yeah, nowhere near as good. I think, obviously through forest and things, there is that benefit. But other than that, definitely nowhere near the quality of the other one. Okay. We are now heading up towards the radio tower. Yeah, normally I'd avoid actually laying cable on roads, but I think for the minute on the tracks it's not too bad. We didn't find them first. So when it told us about them, we didn't find one then, essentially, I don't think. It just told us. Alright, we need to skirt around this fallen tree here. Okay. So we need to head, I keep going straight here, and that will take us up there to where we're going. Yeah, normally I'd avoid any tracks and stuff just because it makes the road very uneven once you put cable on it. But I think we may end up making that proper road anyway, so it won't matter as much, I don't think. And this is so bouncy off any road or track. It's a little bit easier to actually lay it on the track when it's not. But as I say, I will say, it's not good in the hand. The controller is, and I always leave vibration on, I like the fact that the controller responds. But this is horrendous, because it was just constant vibration. I'm pretty sure the old cable ad didn't do that. Although they may have added to it, I don't know. But it may do it now, to be fair, when it didn't do it before. Oh, okay. We got a little bit stuck there. Take that cable layer out. Got a little nose first, I think, there. There we go. I think we stick to the track a bit more, I think. Whereas the other cable layers are definitely a lot more confident not being on the track or a road. With this, it feels like we need to be on that. But we're just about there. We still need to find the concrete slab facility. Or concrete slabs, one of the two. But yeah, this is just, I don't know. I'm not feeling this as good as the other one. And then is communication tower activated, intel collected. I think we gained 2 free tokens for doing that. We'll take the... So as you can see, for some reason, the actual low gear is back again. Not sure what happened there. Seemed to be a bit of a glitch where we lost low gear. Not that it mattered, it meant it was a bit quicker. But it's back again now. So that has opened up the map. Oh wow, that's opened up a massive amount of the map, to be fair. So we've got the sand quarry here, which we need 10 tokens. I think they gave us 1 token, because we had 3 previously. But we have 2. Well, we had 2 actually. We've got another substation here and a coastal base. So we need to activate that coastal base then, by the looks of things. And yellow pipes generally can be sold as well. But that needs power to there. So I might just run power now, to be fair. We're already here. So from here, we might as well just run power straight down. Makes no sense going off and do something else first. We're already here. So if we start at this point here, we can actually follow the road, I think, into there straight away. Generally, we end up building roads quite a lot because it makes convoys so much easier. So we may end up roading all that anyway, which means it doesn't matter if there's a cable on the track. Although we can try and just be to the edge maybe of the track itself, just in case. But yeah, we're already here with the cable layer. It makes no sense to go and do something else. And we can go and put that straight there. And then it's another job done. Okay, so where's the edge of this? Just slightly ahead of us, I think. So just around here should be the start of it. Yeah, should be good there. So if we head to the right hand side here, although actually there's a lot of trees there. If we head to the right hand side through the trees, we can get to this telegraph pole there, and then from there potentially follow the track. Or we actually no, I think we skim through here. That way we avoid the road a bit more to make that road a bit more even for the time being. So we'll try and just go straight, I think, if we can. Slightly to the right and through the trees. Cable layer activated. And low gear's back again. So there seems to be a bit of a glitch with low gear. Let's see if it disappears if we go onto the map again. Yeah, low gear's gone. So if low gear's activated automatically when you're laying cables normally, and that's fine. Obviously restricts your speed. For some reason, if you go onto map, it disappears and it takes low gear off. So there's a bit of a glitch there, it seems. Very bumpy here. But then we did choose to come through the trees and see how quick we can go down because low gear's not on. Okay, so double check where we're heading to. We want to keep heading straight here. We're going to go between them 2 rocks that are ahead of us. So we just need to cross this water area here. Other than being very jumpy and not as quick, although without low gear it is probably quite quick compared to the other cable layer. It's not too bad. I think it's definitely growing on me. Not a fan of the vibration of the controller that's constant though. That does get annoying very quickly. There we go. Oh no, we discovered a new vehicle. The Torque G175 Tree Crusher. With this giant you can build a highway even in the deepest depths of the forest. So there's a new vehicle unlocked. We'll have a look at that in a second. Twice as nice. Good eye, you found another potential fob location. Not much to look at now. But basically 4 walls and a collection of puddles. It's still in a strategic spot for expanding operations. Besides, this one comes with a bonus. Its own little substation. Of course, that's assuming we can hook it up to the hydroelectric dam and get power flowing again. Fix this place up and we'll have a solid foothold in the eastern part of the region. 2 bases are always better than 1 in my book. Especially when everything in between is mostly mud and fallen trees. Well, it wants us to activate this by connecting electricity by looks of things. Let's have a look at the mission. Let's open it. So we need to clear the area of objects and we need to add power. And then we get this coastal base restored. We'll track that for the minute. Power we're about to finish off now. I'm not sure about moving the objects. We'll have to figure that out in a second. Let's get power though, first and foremost. Because at least that's one part of the base done. I'd say normally I would have gone and done a lot more of the missions by now, but we can't actually do a lot of the missions. Right, we're going to jump into this. I'm hoping we can just destroy stuff. So this is the brand new tree crusher. From now on you have a new vehicle that can help you go through thick vegetation and trees. The tree crusher can be used to clear the path of vehicles by knocking down heavy trees. We've got to try this out. There's no way we can not try this out, is there? We obviously need to come here with another vehicle to clear the area, one of the cranes. So we'll do that in due course. But I kind of want to try this out first and foremost. Activate crushing module. Can we crush the stuff that's here? Let's find out. Activate crushing module. So it's on. Can we crush stuff? I'm guessing it's going to be just trees. Yeah, just trees. Low gear automatically activates as well. So yeah, we can't crush vehicles and stuff then. That's a shame. Thought, because of where this started, I thought maybe we could crush things here. But no. I need to crush a tree though with it, don't we? How far away is going to be our other stuff? We've got to drive a crane quite a long way, don't we? Our current one's at the dam, in fact. So we'll have to drive the crane from the dam. Oh, we haven't picked up... So over here is the explosives for getting up here. So this is the castle. There's an abandoned building to knock down for resources there as well. Is there any resources here? Because we still need 2 concrete slabs to get the other building up and running. Can we see any here? Obviously yellow things can be sold. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a dark grey, essentially, but it doesn't look like there's anything there. There's nothing showing up currently. There will be a convoy coming out of here at some point, hence the yellow doors. But I'm not seeing any grey anywhere. Around the edge of the water, nothing seems to be there either. Right, we are going to quickly go and crush a tree just so we can see what it's like. You can see this is a very diesel vehicle, the smoke coming out of it, very slow and methodical. Right, let's pick a tree and crush it. Crushing mode activated. What happens when we get to a tree? Nothing, because we're stuck on a fence. There's a fence there that's stopping us going that way. It doesn't bend to our will. Let's try that again, shall we? We'll go for this. We're still. We're not going to be able to get the tree on the right, are we? I wanted that tree there. This is very slow. Admittedly, we are in crushing mode, so we are slower. Right, let's reverse back. We're going to do this tree just here. Fence stopped us a minute ago. Right, crushing mode activated. Let's see what this does. So normally the big trees can't generally be knocked down. Can we drive over it? We can indeed. What happens when we drive over it though? So the tree completely disappears by the looks of things. Look. When you drive over it, it completely disappears. What about tree stumps? What happens to them, I wonder? It looks like it's a good way of clearing a road though. Tree stumps also disappear. That's a good way of clearing a lot of debris, isn't it? Okay, this big tree here though, I'm curious to what this will do to it. Oh, because that potentially clears another way in. But yeah, there'll be convoy coming out there in due course by looks of things. That means we may need to build a road here anyway, to make that more accessible for the convoy. So the yellow doors generally mean convoy. Right, can we do anything to the big tree? Is the question. Yeah, big tree destroyed. Bit too easily in my opinion, but actually it's done. stump has gone as well. It's not a bad vehicle, and you can see with the road, the kind of path it leaves is quite even underneath, to be fair. It's not a bad vehicle indeed. It's a good way of clearing a route, isn't it? That's the thing. Okay. I like it. It'll be interesting to use. Where we're laying a road, isn't there trees in the way there? Wasn't there a tree blocking the road we need to build? I'm sure there was. Oh, there we go. And that's one of the routes to here. We are going to need to bring the crane here anyway. So my thinking is we go and crush that tree blocking the road there. And at least that's done then, because either way we've got to bring something there to do it. So we'll drive this back that way to crush that tree, then we'll swap to the crane and bring that here to clear this area. That gives us a new base location. Hopefully some resources, but I don't know, to be fair. So if we come out of here, follow the track to the quarry, and then come up, it's basically... Where's the tree gone? I swear there was a tree to destroy. Oh, it's there. There we go. So we just need to follow the track, really, essentially. We'll see how quick this is without, obviously, the tree crusher part on. Can we still drive over things without tree crusher activated? No. But despite being as big as it is, it doesn't drive over stumps unless you've got the tree crusher activated by the looks of things. And it is a lot slower in tree crusher mode. And it doesn't like hills. It's definitely a beast of a machine though. Let's see if the low gear trick works, going onto map. Yeah. So we can actually crush things quicker. There's a glitch by the looks of things, where if you go into map once low gear is activated, it disappears until you're back into the map. So it does speed up your vehicles a little bit by having it off when it's not meant to be off, but there seems to be a bit of an issue there then. Right, we'll be activated again now because it's waiting to map. So we can follow this straight ahead. No, it's still off actually. It is still off. That means we can crush everything on the way to where we're going and clear the road a little bit more than it would be normally. And it won't be any slower. There's another block tree here. You can see that one on the map actually, to be fair. That's another tree out of the way. But this is still in crusher mode because low gear is deactivated. Right, we want to head to the left here and follow this down. So just follow the track that's already there. But handy for getting rid of tree stumps and things. But yeah, hills it is going to be problematic. It's leaving a nice flat surface behind though. Rocks falling down on us there. That's the point. We can't crush rocks though. By the looks of things, rocks do stay. Yeah, we just drove over it. Definitely different than what we've had before. I think this will be a vehicle you want to keep calling to you rather than drive it long distance, I think. Right, check we should be heading right. Yep. And then it's next left. All we're doing is getting towards a tree that's blocking the road there. And then we'll jump in the crane. Because if we get that base up and running, that's another point of access of areas. By the looks of things. But yeah, explosives are further north. We still need to find them for the avalanche. Still looking for concrete slabs. All the facilities to make them. And unusually as well for the game, this map allows you to build all bridges from the start. Normally the bridges are restricted to when you actually unlock and find the places to make them. But on this one, all bridges are already activated, instead of waiting until you find the actual production facilities. which is unusual. Big tree out of the way. That wasn't the one we actually saw on the map either, I don't think. There's one more. So this is quicker than it would be normally when you're crushing because of the lack of low gear. Are we making any difference to where we laid the cable? I think it is flatter. Or is it? I don't know. It's a bit hard to tell. I wondered if the road itself would be flatter when we were laying the cable. And this may have done it differently, but I don't think it has. But it does make mincemeat of the trees. Was there any other trees on the way, on this roadway we needed to do? I don't know if there's anything else we need to clear, to be fair. It's as wide as the double road we're going to build. I think we drive this around long just in case there's anything else stopping us building this road. I think we drive this along it just to make sure there's nothing else stump-wise or anything like that that's going to be in the way of the road. Yeah, I don't know if it's flattening the cable, to be fair. I don't think it is, to be honest. But I didn't think it would, to be honest. Because it doesn't do the rocks, I kind of assumed it wouldn't change the soil either. Anything else we need to destroy on the way? I don't think so. We're nearly at the end anyway. But yeah, we need to go and get the other base up and running at the very least. So we'll need a big crane for that, which we've got at the dam. But we're still looking for the resources needed, or buildings we can destroy that will give us the resources needed to activate the steel beam facility. And then use the steel beam facility to get the oil rig up and running. Yeah, there's nothing else we need to destroy here, so let's park to the side. And we'll go and jump in the crane. Fairly simple journey for the crane now, especially with the trees gone. There we go, low gear's back. The minute I turned it off, low gear is back. So that's a weird glitch, it seems. Just means you can go a little bit quicker, I think, when you're actually using things. Right, fold crane, anchors, handbrake. Let's get this crane over there, get the coastal base up and running. And that's something else complete at least. Already got power there, so that's a big bonus. We're going to keep them out with concrete slabs, because the minute we get the concrete slabs we can then grab everything together and go and get the thing up and running, the beam facility. We've already got the pipes, we know where they all are. It'll be a case of picking them up still, and there's two by the radio tower and one actually at the oil rig as well. So that's the three. We just need two more concrete slabs. Well, actually, do we only need one? Because we've got one at our base, haven't we, that we got for demolishing that first building. Potentially might only be one needed. Right, follow this track along until we get to the building. We'll see on the way, and then that's when we turn left, and we can follow the path laid out by the tree crusher and the cable layer, to be fair. Once we're across the dam. There's another entrance point to our right there, so I'm guessing there'll be a convoy either to or from that at some point as well, by the looks of things. Looking between the bits of the dam, I wonder if there'll be any resources. That there doesn't seem to be. So unless you explore that radio station we found to the left where we are now, up there somewhere, that doesn't come up as a mission until you go there, interestingly. Yeah, you can see the difference where the cable has been. So we definitely didn't change the surface we're using the tree crusher. Which I suppose in a way is a bit unrealistic. The way it was driving, you would expect it to actually change the soil a little bit and basically squash it. We'd expect it to have done that, but it doesn't seem to have done. Right, there's a building coming up on our left, that's where we need to turn. There it is, just there. And then we follow the track all the way through to the coastal base, past the quarry, and then we're there. Quarry should be coming up on our right hand side shortly, and then we know we're on the right track. We want to go right here. We go up there, that takes us to the radio tower. We want to go to the right. We're just going to follow this all the way. There's a quarry coming up on our right hand side. And then we should be just about there, to be fair. Obviously these big cranes aren't the quickest, but it handles itself pretty well. I didn't see if there was any new, I don't think there was any new cranes other than the cargo truck. I don't think there is any new big cranes, to be fair. Might have to double check that just to see, but I don't think there is. I think the cargo truck was really the only one. I'm stuck on a stump, aren't I? Yeah. Thought it was. So we just need to clear the area in the coastal base of debris. A lot of it can probably be recycled. Some of it can be sold by look at as it's flashing yellow, which means sellable. And the metal will probably be recycled at some point for beams or pipes. So we kind of want to move the stuff we want to use into one place and everything else another. Right, that's the stuff down there. Let's go and get it cleared. And then that's the new base operations up and running. So far we've brought 2 of the new vehicles and we've gained 2 extra on top of that from finding them anyway. The wrecking ball and the tree crusher have been given to us. I don't think there's a normal version. We need to have a double check in the shop. I wonder if there's a version that isn't a rusty version. Because normally you're given a rusty version. Once we get the space up on them, we'll check. But normally you're given a rusty version. But there's also a non-rusty version to buy, which stats-wise is generally a little bit better. Not necessarily by much, but a little bit more than what it is the rusty version. Don't roll back. I knew it was going to do that. Okay. There we go. It won't roll back now. Right, we've got the big container to our right. We do need to be aware of where we put these things, because obviously we don't want them in the way for when the base is active and we want to use it. So we need to make sure they're not going to be in our way. That's the only downside. We put it here where this other debris is. There we go. I've got tyres and the wooden things as well. I'm not sure where I want to put those really, to be fair. I'm trying to think where else I could go that's out of the way. This. Oh, another tyre. That's always my thinking, is not being in the way of us. Although I think just to this side over here is probably ideal. I was going to move forward to grab these, but since it's doing it from where we are, we'll just pick them up from where we are, for as much as we can. If we go that way, that shouldn't then slide. There we go. There's no point moving if it's giving us the option to pick stuff up from where we are, so we'll do that. Okay, big yellow pipes. These can be sold at some point if we need the money. In the base game and the first DLC, we very rarely sold anything, mainly because we just never really needed the money from doing the missions. Money was never a problem, so we haven't really sold stuff. Whether that changes in this DLC, I'm not sure. To be fair, we still have a couple of bridge layers we can sell. We did have 4 at the start. Let's spin this round a bit, stop it rolling. Will it stay? Yep. Yeah, we had 4 bridge layers at the start, mainly because we didn't know about making our own bridges early on. So we can still sell another one of those, and that should then leave us a rusty version and a normal version. So there are still a couple of things we can sell. They're worth 70,000 each. So when we want one of the new DLC vehicles, fairly simple to get one with that money. I'm liking this not having to move to pick these up though. It'll make life a little bit easier. Right, we'll make sure it's out of the yellow. There we go, stay there. What else will it give us before I'm going to move forward? Another one. So I would move forward, but if we don't need to at the minute, there's no point. Okay, let's stay there. Yeah, tree kind of holds it in place, to be fair. Right, what else can we grab before we move? I can't see off screen what it is. Oh, another tyre, there we go. There's a car there, I don't know if it'll let us pick it up from where we are. We may need to move forward for that. Obviously, them vehicles to the left there won't be used, so anything in front of those won't be in the way, really. You can pick the car, but at least with the front of it anyway. Be able to drop this in a second, I should be able to pick the whole thing up properly. Although I may not need to be fair. All depends if it rolls or not. It's only going to let us pick... Can we not pick it up fully? Ah, there. There we go. Basically create a pile of rubbish, essentially. Right, what else have we got? Got the wooden things over here as well. I don't really know where to put them, to be fair. That won't be in the way. Maybe to the side of this building here. That building looks like potentially one we can smash up, hopefully. Obviously, once maybe it won't activate until the base up and running. It does look like potentially a building we can destroy. Nice if it is and gives us concrete slabs, because that would help us massively in terms of what we want to get up and running. The actual buildings we need to do here for the main mission, the oil rig and the storage, they're going to take a lot of time to get done, mainly because of what's needed resource-wise. And there's 3 stages to one of them and 2 stages to the other. I've just realised what the actual other thing is. So top right, there's a new symbol there, 0 or 4. It looks like a dumper truck. That's how many toys you found on the map and sold, I believe. So each map will now tell you how many toys you found and how many whether it's found or sold, I'm not sure. that's my guess. It makes sense, to be fair, because it did say there's now a counter for the toy cars. They're all worth a decent amount of money, so if you find them, you are meant to sell them. In the base game, we didn't find them all. We found a few on a few maps without even looking. We just happened upon them. The majority of the time, I think once we looked when we first found out they were toy cars, we looked for some. Found one on a roof of a building. But generally, we didn't bother too much with them during the base game, and we haven't sold one, I don't think, at all yet. Great. Tyre. Must be getting short of things we can reach now, I would say. And everything else, hopefully we go down that right hand side is what I'm thinking. Although, I'll probably grab these as well, yeah. Yeah, I think everything else we'll try and get down that right hand coastal side, just so it's out of our way more than anything else. Come on, Tyre. I'm hoping that does give us an option to destroy that building now once we get the base. It needs to give us concrete slabs, ideally. Right, a few more I think we can still grab from here before moving. They're both the wooden items. They're generally, the wooden items are old cabled spills. I think spills is the word? It might not be. It's something similar to that. Where the cable's wrapped around. Similar to what the cable layer has on the front of it, to be fair. I think they're sellable. You can't recycle them. I think they're only, because they're only made of wood. I think they're sellable. If you really want to get rid of them. There we go. Right. There is another one there. Let's grab that one, and then I think we head towards the two yellow pipes there to put them on that right hand side. I think there's a couple of small things nearby to that as well. Let's grab this last wooden thing, I think, if we can. And then we move. And then this is nearly done by the looks of it. And then we have a new base of operations. A new fob. I do like the fact that you use fob as a term, to be fair. It is a military term. Okay, bring this round. And then we can move. But this is nearly done. Another new base up and running, hopefully. Stay. Perfect. Right, crane, anchors, camera. Right, want to head to the right hand side here. So we've got those left. There's one thing there as well. I think that's it, actually, to be fair. I think it is the two pipes here and something small to the right. I think that is everything. Can't get it from here. I was hoping I would switch to it. There we go. Yeah, one little metal barrel that's already damaged and crushed up. And then it's the two yellow pipes. And all we're going to do is get them out of the area, and that's job done. There we go, that's out. So, pipes. I think we can put them similar to where we just put that, to be fair. And they'll be out of the area, out of the actual yellow area at least. There we go. I think that's the last one to do now, and then that's this up and running. I don't know if that will then give us more missions or not. I'm not sure, but as I say, I'm hoping it gives that building to the Bonish, because at least then we've got more resources. Okay, potentially last one. I think it is, but we may have to have a look around in case. No, that is the last one. That is the garage up and running. Right, something new. Buried treasure of the vehicle variety. Our scout spotted an abandoned mining vehicle near the old mine. Exactly what we need to get the sand quarry operational again. The catch: someone needs to extract it and take it all the way to the quarry. And because nothing can ever be simple, there's a lovely stretch of deep mud between here and there. That'll make transportation challenging. I guess we're lucky enough to embark on this amazing adventure. You got it. Now go get that thing to the quarry, and we'll have all the sand we could ever need for the making concrete. No pressure, but basically all future construction in the region depends on this working out. Okay, so there is a new thing to do here, and that is to go and find this vehicle. Where is it? Have a look. It'll be an objective, won't it? So deliver mobile sand plant. So it needs to go there, and we need to get it from. Oh no, that's clear the area. So that needs clearing, which is just a massive load of trees. I think tree crusher, rather than cut the trees down, there is plenty of trees on the map. Tree crusher's already there as well. I think we crush the trees. That's one objective. And the other objective that's just came up is deliver metal pipes. Okay. So it's an infrastructure. This is a convoy, which is a bit of a concern. We've unexpectedly found a surplus of metal pipes at one of our base warehouses. We need to deliver them to our shore forward base. Further use in repairing and building the surrounding infrastructure. The route for our convoys won't be easy, but we have all the tools we need to overcome the challenges. So this infrastructure route is from... Oh, this gives us five of the metal... I'm losing my words today. Metal pipes. There we go. Even says it, deliver metal pipes. So this will give us 5 of those, 1 per truck. And we need starting point is here, and we're going to. Hang on, where's that going to? Normally can swap. Why can't I swap the location? I haven't actually found the other location, but normally I can change. Don't do that. Normally I can just change location. I wonder if it's because we haven't found it yet that it won't let me swap to it. So we know the convoy starts there, but we don't know where it's going to because we haven't found the concrete facility yet. So it's obviously not showing up for us. But we can do the other mission, which is to clear this area here. We are very stuck on what missions we can currently do for different reasons. A lot of it is restoring. There are some roads to build. We've not built a single road yet. We'll have to do that. But we can do this mission. Deliver the mobile sand plant. We obviously need the quarry for the road that's here. So it'd be handy to get this done. So we found an old sand quarry nearby, almost functional but missing heavy equipment. Our forward team's also located an abandoned mine with a preserved sand plant nearby. If we deliver it to the quarry, we can fully resume sand extraction in the area. But the way there is heavily overgrown with trees, let's put a new vehicle, tree crusher, to work and clear the way. So that means the new vehicle is somewhere over here then, I would guess. It's going to be in this area, I think. Can we actually see it? I don't think we can. No, I don't think we can see it currently. There's the old mine there. Slightly underwater by the looks of things. Ah, hang on. Is it over here? There could be some decent resources over here though, looking at that. Is there any concrete slabs? Right, lots of tyres to sell. Metal can be recycled. We're looking for grey flashing for any concrete slabs. I'm not seeing them though. Yeah, there's no concrete slabs, so I looks at it. Right, we'll do this mission though as we're already here. So we'll jump back in the tree crusher. And we haven't actually got far to go. One thing I never do is turn vehicles off. We gained the ability a few updates back that you can actually turn vehicles off. I forget generally and just jump out of them and into other things. So we very rarely turn anything off. I think if fuel was activated for us, we'd probably turn it on. We'd turn them all off. But because fuel wasn't a thing when we first started, so we can't add it into our save without restarting the whole base game. Something that we don't currently have access to. It kind of happened when it was like the last map of the base game, so it wasn't worth us doing. But I would have liked to have fuel as an issue. And damage, to be fair. But there we go, something we can't do. Right, we just need to get this to the area which is to our right hand side here. So we're looking, okay, when the junction is essentially. So we get to the junction and then we'll head that way. We could chop these trees down if we wanted and take the wood. And maybe the wood would be useful, but there's lots of trees around. It does tell you to use the tree crusher, to be fair. So I don't think using the tree crusher is an issue. And there's plenty of wood we can get from the trees, so it's all good. It's a good chance to use it again. I won't go on to map this time, I think we'll use it at its normal speed. To see the difference in speed, really. Right, you can see where we're going, the zone is to the right. I've already turned it on. Mainly because we can destroy these things on the way to the zone. Definitely a lot slower with low gear on though, isn't it? Compared to what it was a minute ago. But that glitch for taking off low gear, they probably need to solve that, I think. Okay, can't get rid of the telegraph pole obviously. It's only the big trees that will show up, to be fair, that need taking down. The small trees generally won't show up as a marker on them. We kind of need to go one side to the other really, don't we? Or down the middle and then up and down both sides. Do middle first. Got to clear the whole zone anyway. We'll go in the middle I think first and foremost. It's not liking that tree, is it? It's meant to be a tree crusher. What's going on with it? Oh, there we go. The tree disappeared, so now it was okay again. It's definitely very slow with the low gear on, compared to being able to turn it off. That shouldn't, but turning off shouldn't be a thing. So we'll leave it on. We won't glitch it out so we can get rid of it. Quite a lot of stuff to get rid of here though. We are struggling for some reason to grip. I don't know if there's maybe rocks in our way that's causing us not to be too happy. Yeah, it's really struggling. What are we stuck on? We're a tree crusher, we shouldn't be stuck on anything. What is it? Oh, it's a rock. That is a rock causing a problem. In fact, let's have a look inside. This is inside the tree crusher. It's a rock causing all them problems. Okay. We can't go with the rock there. But something so big that does as much damage as it's meant to do, a small rock shouldn't be able to stop that, surely. Right, inside. It's a very noisy machine. Very spacious though. Definitely different seeing it from inside. Quite a large area it wants us to destroy, to be fair. Larger than I thought. I think there's another rock, yeah. It's amazing that small rocks can cause so much issues to things so big and heavy. You would think we'd be able to just drive over them and crush them into the ground. The rocks really, to be fair. But it really struggles with them. You'd think the weight would be enough. But there's the rock that we're on issues with. It's right on that back tyre, or back bit. Well, it's not really a tyre, is it, to be fair? It does leave marks in the floor as well. In some of the mud, it does leave little grooves from the actual rollers, which is quite a nice touch. And that's one of the big things this game does really well, is the attention to detail. Things like leaving the marks in the surface there. I think that's a really nice detail to have. I just think the rock thing is a bit weird, because you wouldn't think this would struggle with rocks. For some reason it does. And mud. Okay. Obviously we can't do the telegraph pole that's there. I'm just trying to turn it. We go back up this left hand side. We didn't do quite the middle, we kind of went to the other side a little bit there. Yeah, turning circles not amazing, but then you'd expect that with something this size. Come on. Try and line up with that tree that we can see, to be fair. Just struggling for grip. With the massive great rollers on it. The noise is quite cool though. You can hear that diesel engine really spluttering away. I'm definitely not a vehicle or car person, but I do appreciate some of the noises these things make sometimes. Before the accident, I was a very heavily motorbike kind of person. Obviously. Never going to be able to drive one again now, but enjoy the time I did with them. But it's the noise that I really like. And the noise of the trees going down as well. It's quite a nice satisfying thud as they hit the floor. Like that. It's quite realistic, I think, in the way you hear that noise. You're hitting the floor. I like that. Okay, what have we got left? We started off down the middle and then we actually turned because of the rock. So we still have some on that left hand side to do, and there's a few more on this right hand side as well. So we'll try and get round here. But yeah, rocks are so much, they're quite problematic in this, surprisingly. Obviously the incline it's not too pleased with either. Turn around here. So we need to see if the... I don't know if this is actually a rusty version. I don't think it is. Looking at the paint on it, I don't think this is a rusty version. Which means there isn't another one of these to buy to replace the rusty version with better stats. It is just this one, I think. Them rocks, it is ridiculous you can't crush them in the floor. I would have expected that to be a thing. Although I suppose if you... That may take quite a bit of coding, to be fair, to be able to crush rocks into the floor like that. You're then going to change the surface of the bit you crushed them into, aren't you? So maybe that's why you can't. Potentially coding-wise, that would be more difficult. Right, so that's done. So we've got a few to the right here, and then we just need to come back for that one there. Oh, in fact, we'll try and reverse that one. I want to see if we can crush a tree in reverse. Obviously we know going forwards you can, but it's whether we can in reverse as well. So let's reverse up to it now. There are some rocks around it which potentially will cause us a problem, but I'm just curious to see if it does the same thing going backwards as it does forwards, if we can get past the rocks. I'd expect to knock it down. It's whether it disappears or not. I think it will. We hit the telegraph pole, to be fair. Yeah, it's gone. So you can knock things down in reverse as well as forward. That helps more in the fact that the turning circle this isn't very good. So it means that despite the turning circle you could probably go up and down quite easily. Speed wise we didn't see much differently going forwards, to be fair. Always nice to know if you can do the same thing backwards as you can forwards. Right, a few more to do here. Why are we climbing? Oh, up the tree. I couldn't see the telegraph pole because of the tree that was there. I think we've got 2 more to do, and then we need to go and find this vehicle, the sand plant. We need to get it back here. I don't know what vehicle we need to use to get back here, to be fair. Maybe a crane, but then we can't tow it. May need one of the scout vehicles that can tow. Potentially. Right, that is the area clear. Let's just, I don't know where we need to actually put the new vehicle, the sand vehicle, so let's just move this a little bit. Over this way. We have cleared the way though. Okay, let's have a look. So the vehicle we need to get is here. Are we driving it? Okay. We just need to drive this to where? to the quarry that's there. Okay, fair enough. We have used a sand plant previously, so it's not an unusual one to do. So let's jump in. It's the Zilk 605 SE. I think this is the exact same one as we have, to be fair, because I think there is only one in the game. So it is the same one, I think. Right, from here though, we want to head out onto the right hand side. We've got to get around this area, which there are a few things in the way. I wonder if there's a better way of going then. Can go over the top here, but I think that's going to be problematic. May just have to skirt around this way, we'll see. It's not going to be the quickest machine in the world to drive, and the mud could become a problem. We shall see. At least that's another mission complete. We still need to get 6 more tokens to be able to activate the quarry anyway. Although one of these can work instead of the quarry, to be fair. As long as it's on sand, we'll still be able to activate it. Won't have as much of a circle of area for usage. That's the only downside. There is a road going up there. Obviously it leads you more into the swamps and further north. There might be something else up here to find and pick up, to be fair. Potentially a ghost building. I've not put the handbrake on, hence the vehicle's still moving. But yeah, there might be something worth going and have a look around there for, to be fair. Right, can we maybe be able to just push past these? How deep is the water though? That's the other question. What I'm thinking is we head to the left of the blue one and head round that way. As long as the water's not too deep. Back end's caught up on something. Oh, it's the metal there. I kind of took it a bit too sharply, not to allow the back end to come round. There we go. Powerful enough just to move the container out of the way. Oh, it's deep. Is it too deep is the question. Might be, I can't move. So from here we were hoping to get... Oh, we need to go all the way there, don't we? Okay, I think we should have headed left then. That way. Can I reverse? We can. How deep is it to the other side? I didn't do a very good job of reversing there, to be fair. That's deep. Don't know if we can drive through this. Try and stick to the edge if we can, although I haven't got the turning circle to get around that. This is my big issue with big vehicles like this. I struggle so much with knowing where we should be turning to make sure they get the back end round. One thing I always struggle with on all games like Snow Runner and stuff like that, I just struggle with that turning. And it is more of learning of what you need space wise to turn. Can't go as tight to allow the back end to get past the steps that are there. There we go. Right. Doesn't seem as deep on this edge bit, which is good. Obviously, we've got to try and get round here to this bit of road here. Hopefully, we can. Obviously, there's a way to do this, so whether it's driving out, I'm not sure. We've got low gear on to kind of help with the mud. This next bit we've got to cross is a bit concerning in terms of whether we can get across it or not without being too deep. Because this looks quite deep here. Right, I've kind of gone a bit on the mound there, but so we've got to somehow get to there. The old road used to be here anyway. I think we can. I don't know how deep it's going to be, to be fair. I did say that too tight, obviously, as they always do. Right, we need a straighter before turning. I was concerned at how deep it's about to get, so I was trying to turn early. Obviously, didn't allow for the turn again. There we go. If we do drown it, our best bet would then be to send a crane in potentially to get it out. Hopefully that won't be needed. Okay, a bit too tight on the turn. I'm just trying to stay out of the deep water, that's the problem. And that is extremely deep. Can we get round? There's the road to our left. Telling me it's deep. Come on. Needs to be shallow enough. Oh, that's getting deep. I don't know if we can get round that. We're up again. I'm caught. What we caught on the back end's caught on something. I don't think I can reverse. Our back end's caught on something, I think. And it doesn't look like I can reverse out of it either. I know. Is there some movement there? I think we're going to need to tow this. Or at least crane it forward a bit, I think. I think I've got it locked onto a rock or something there. Yeah, I don't think I'm moving that from where it is. By the looks of things. If we can get a crane nearby, we can potentially just pull it over to here. Let's give it one more go at trying to get out. No movement that way. Sometimes you can crab walk it to get out of these situations. Try and straighten the tyres. See if that helps. Oh, there was some movement there for a minute. So sometimes crab walking does help. Nothing there. And forward. Tiny bit of movement. Okay. Won't I was hoping you could activate it, so hopefully that might help, but no. Right, I think we need a crane to get out of here then. So our nearest one is actually at the new base we've got over here. Well, actually, is that too far away? Is it easier to come from there, maybe? No, we should be able to use the crane, shouldn't we? Not too far. Right, we'll jump in the crane. I think the crane's a better option because you can just pull it towards us, essentially. Anchors in. So we can head to the road that leads into that mine. That should be enough to just stick the end out and pull it. If we just use one connection point, that should do it, hopefully. Oh, there's always a chance that we'd mess that up. It was either going to be we're going to drown it, or we'd end up getting stuck, and getting stuck was the actual, probably better option, to be fair. We probably could recover it back to the garage, to be honest. Kind of a bit cheesy if we did that, though, isn't it, really? But I've got a feeling you probably could just recover it. But I don't want to cheese it, so we won't. But once it's out of that quarry area, it should be fine to drive all the way to where it's going. The mine area, sorry. The quarry, it should be fine driving the rest of the way. Okay. That's the quarry there, isn't it? Let's double check where we're going here. I've lost my bearings a bit. There's the quarry to our left. Okay, we do want to go left there, really. To be fair. Lost my bearings a little bit, and can work out exactly where we were. So far, though, I'm really enjoying the DLC. I think the level of difficulty's definitely gone up in a good way, and the fact that exploration is definitely more of a thing than just cracking on doing each mission one after the other. There's a lot more involved to even do the main missions. You know, by now, on all the other base game and the DLC maps, we would have completed 3 or 4 of the main missions already. But because of the way it's done in this DLC, you can't just do that. You have to find things, look for things, and I like that aspect, to be fair. Makes the game more difficult and potentially makes it last longer too. What do you guys think of the DLC so far? If you're playing, are you enjoying it? If you aren't playing it yet but want to, does it look interesting to you? I do think, I wish there's more buildings to demolish, but then I don't think we've kind of got to that point yet. Yes, it gives you one early on to demolish, to get some resources, but I kind of wanted more. Obviously, there might be more buildings, we just need to find them. But yeah, I was expecting more demolition currently. But it also answers the question on the base game and the DLC, first DLC map. The demolition ball there's no reason for it to be used because I don't think there'll be any buildings to demolish. Right, from here we want to go straight. Actually, where does that road? Yeah, it kind of comes out that way, doesn't it? For them trees. Saying that, what way does it actually go? The road goes up here, and there's a load of trees. Okay. There is a load of trees in the way. We'll see how far we can get. We may need the tree crusher to actually get a route, potentially. There's a bunch of trees blocking that bit there. And then there's a bunch of trees blocking that bit. To be fair, let's jump in the tree crusher now and just clear the way. Otherwise, it's going to make our life more difficult to get through. So where the natural road is where we're going to quickly just clear the route out. Just so it's not as tricky for us to get through. Now, how deep is this water here is the question. If it's deep, we're going to drown. Yep, it's too deep. Right, we're not passing through that then anyway. I thought that would be passable, but obviously not. So my plan of doing the trees down first, I think, is probably a no-go. Although we can skirt around the edge here, to be fair. But if we can do that, we can probably skirt around the edge without needing to clear it then. Let's not clear it. I think we can get around it without clearing them. Trying to make our life easier, but actually, I think we can just get there normally. Yeah, that's probably my only criticism currently. Well, other than the vehicle that you can't use, or doesn't seem to have a use for, the Star Truck. Because unless there's a trailer you can manually pick up, it's pointless. And then the only other issue is Eagle Vision. Don't quite understand what it is or how to use it. Well, if this is what we think it is, and what we've discussed, then it's pointless. So that's my only issues really, I would say. But yeah, so far so good. I think there's going to be a lot to do and a lot to figure out before we get anything done. But I like something that's going to take us time. You can't just rush through. Because that's the thing. Some people just rush through and just play the main missions. That's it. And you know, everyone buys the game with their own money. You can play it how you want to play it. But in doing so, you're missing out, I think, on a large section of stuff to do. Right, the road that we want to use, or we're going to use, is there. I'm just trying to see if there's another way. So the road goes to there. That's the road there, which is here. Obviously, we know this is really deep, but actually, it looks like, and yes, the map can be very deceiving at times. Potentially, you can just go this way. On the map, this looked quite empty, but actually, in reality, it's not. Right, there's the road we wanted to follow here. It's overgrown with trees, which could potentially be a problem, unless we can get through them. There are some smaller trees here. Those ones we can knock down. It's lack of visibility, though, to where the big trees are the problem. That still good so far. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, we could crush them if we wanted to, but I don't think there's a need to, really. Right, saying that, we knew there's a patch of water here, but that looks very deep. Let's have a quick look how deep. We're heading to the right, essentially. But there is a tree down there that's going to potentially stop us. It's very deep. Yeah, we're not doing that. Right, so we need to find... The mine is to our left there. We're going to need to head up to the right, aren't we, here? We need to find a way up. Whatever way we go here, we've got to try and come back with the sand scraper. That's really steep. I can't get up there. I've not beached it, surely. I think it might be just the mud stopping us moving. Put low gear on. It's not letting us go anywhere. Okay, wasn't expecting to get stuck there, to be fair. There's a post here. I'm going to use that with the crane to potentially just knock us to the side a bit. Come on. No. Trying to use the crane to move us. We're well and truly stuck there, I think. Okay, that was unexpected. We've got nothing. Even in low gear as well. Right. What to do? Obviously, we've got the tree crusher nearby. Well, actually, I've just moved this with the tree that's there. Has that helped? It's got no traction at all. Right, we've moved us a bit there. I still can't reverse though. Even though we've used the trees to move us, I've got nothing. In the end, the tree actually fell down, annoyingly. I've still got no traction at all. Can't go forwards or back. That's unusual. Not been stuck like this in a while. I might be able to push against the post just there, to be fair. But yeah, this mud is not fun. Come on. It did move us a bit. That lifted us up. Still got no movement. What I think we need to do is if I push us back from using the post, if we go to square on with the post and then push out, that should push us back. There we go. We are unstuck. Doesn't solve our problem though. Still got to get up there somehow. Okay, is it less steep over this way maybe? Because it was how steep it is was the problem. Because we were hitting the front end on the ground and getting stuck because of that. Still got low gear on as well. Some movement there. No, that's too steep as well. Don't tell me we're stuck again. I think we're stuck again. There's a tree ahead of us. There we go. Right, okay, so that's too steep as well. So we need to find a different way up. We can't obviously go through the water. It's too deep, so we've got to find a way round. And we need to kind of go up here and then down. Although that looks really steep as well, to be fair. It's the water that's the problem. Pardon me, because it looks too deep. Unless we can get across the middle, maybe. We didn't really look at the middle. On the map, it doesn't look as deep, but actually, it does look deep looking at it. And that makes it look not too bad. Well, there is a tree in the middle. Normally, if there's trees and stuff in the middle, it generally means it's not deep. So how deep do we think it is the question. Got a big tree there in the middle as well. Oh, okay. You can actually see how deep it is because we can see the roots of the tree. I think we may just be able to get across. Eventually. Maybe not. How far can we go? Because we need the front end to be up. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get across there, are we? I'm going to drown the vehicle. No, front end's out. We're not drowning, but we are stuck on trees. There's fallen trees in here, hence why we're stuck on them. I wonder. As long as that front end stays up, we're not too bad. But I can't get over the trees. I think that's a pile of logs in fact there as well. If that tree on the ground there, but in the water, wasn't there, we wouldn't have an issue. So unless we can get ourselves over that. Can't move it either. So I think the tree crusher would drown if we try to get in here, to be fair. It is going to be lower down than us. And obviously I can't pick the tree up. Thought I could force it through, but no. Okay, we need to get rid of that tree that's there. I don't know if the tree crusher will make it in enough to get rid of it, because that's the one that's stopping us getting across. Although it does show, it looks really deep, but actually once you're in it, it's not as deep as it looks. Can we get around the tree this way? Obviously the front end needs to be out of the water pretty quickly to stop it drowning. An engine, no, it flooded it. Thought we'd make it. Flooded the engine instead. I was trying to get the turn round to get across, and obviously flooding the engine wasn't the plan. But I've got nothing. I can't use the crane. Can't use anchors. Okay, I don't want to recover it. When I said there was another way of doing this, let's see if it's possible. Can we recover this? We can recover it. Oh, okay. You can recover it to the objective start. So there is no way of cheesing it. You actually have to get it out. The objective start point is there, and you can make it go back to there, and that's it. That's interesting. I like that, because I did wonder whether you could. So maybe we try again. Maybe we take it back to the objective start, and then see if we can get round again ourselves, knowing we've just flooded that over there. Potentially, we need to head up the hill, I think, or some way through there. So let's go back to the objective start. It doesn't cost us anything. Okay, would have rather not had it there, but that will do. That's one way of returning to the start point. That building there, can we not demolish that? It's not showing up as being able to be demolished, is it? No. Right, my thinking was we need to try and get over here. I don't know if it's too steep just to go up from here. Obviously there is a fence line that we can't get through there. I just wondered whether we could head to the right instead, past this mound that's already there. Could we go to the right there maybe? And that would avoid the water to what's there. I don't know if this is doable or not. At least we know we can reset the start point if things go terribly wrong. Going down to this, we've got to allow for the back end to turn when there's trees. Or hope we can knock them down. Ah, there's a big old rock there. Well, actually, that's not bad though. Because if we keep heading to the right, obviously we've got to get past there, which could be problematic unless we head that way. That's not too bad actually. So we're going to be to the right of the big rock. Just allowing for that back end to turn as well. That's the only downside. I think this is knocking trees down as we go. This isn't too bad. Yeah, we are knocking trees down. I Okay, so that's the water there where we just got the crane stuck. Okay, so from here, we want to go to the left, don't we really? Although I don't know if we can get up that hill. There's no way up there. There is a bit up here though. I think that's climbable there. So if we can get this to the left, up along this road, and back up over here, and then we can head back across that way. Kind of seems to be our best option, I think. In fact, this is knocking down trees does help. So we just want to get back to the road bit that's here. This is where we was trying to get the crane to originally. And then we should be able to go up from there, hopefully. A lot of this is guesswork and hoping for the best outcome. Managed to avoid the water though. Okay, I think that's the track ahead of us here. Although there's lots of trees in the way. Which we can see on the map actually, to be fair. There's going to be trees in the way here. There's a big one there. There we go, they're down. There we go. So we didn't need to bother trying to get the crane across. We could have done this from the start. Obviously we didn't know we could do that. So my thinking is we head up, because although the map could be deceiving us massively, we'll find out in a second. But it looked like it was doable to go up over here on the just off this water. And I think it is. To a degree. That brightness doesn't help. I'll put low gear on. Although, do we need it? Probably not actually. Okay, is this doable? From here. That looks extremely steep. I don't think we can get up there. Yeah, we originally planned to go up there because it did look doable, but I'm not sure it is. There is a roadway to there, but that doesn't really help us, does it? Don't know if we can get up. Let's try. You can only try and see what happens. I will put low gear on, just in case. Well, the front end isn't digging in like we were with the crane, and we can. Come on, it's nearly there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're up. The crane was a complete waste of time then. We could have done this there without the need for the crane. I say that, I'm stuck. That last bit. I haven't got the last bit of grip, I don't think. Come on. We are sliding. There we go. I think it might be a tree that was actually caught on us. We're up. I would not have expected this to be able to get up that kind of slope, but it did. Right. We need to avoid the water and any major drops if we can. I don't want to dig in the front end into anything, that's the thing. Right, let's just reassess where we are. So here we are now. We want to be all over there. Now, I think if we head to this clearing here, we already worked out this water here is deep, but we can get around the edge, as we proved with the crane. So we want to be heading more to the right here. Take low gear off, I don't think we need it in a minute. So, lots and lots of trees. I know we can knock them down, but obviously avoiding them is always better. Okay. It's working though. Better than I thought it would. So we're going to be heading more to the right, and then we'll get onto the pathway that's there. Once we're out on back onto that pathway and round that bit of water, okay, basically on the home stretch. So there's the water there. If we head to the right, we should see the roadway or track. And then the way we came originally. Yeah, straight ahead. Because we skirted round with the crane here. If the crane did it, this should be able to as well. And there we go. Mainly low gear for this. I call it low range because it is in snow runner, but in this it's low gear. You can follow the tracks the actual crane made, to be fair. We'll have to recover the crane at some point. There we go. Just keep following the track round. That gives us back to the main track and road, and then it's just to the quarry, and that'll be job done. And then the quarry, it still says 10 tokens to activate. Whether that means we still need 10, I don't know. But if it does, it means we can't do that road yet. Obviously, we still have we need to find the concrete plant to set up the convoy to give us the metal pipe. So we need to find the actual concrete plant before we can set that up. Right, head left here, and then we're into the opening we created with the tree crusher. I don't quite know why we made an opening with the tree crusher for this mission, because that opening doesn't really help us too much. Other than that's the way we're leaving, I suppose. But actually, we could have got through the trees anyway. But it's cleared a nice open space at least. Take low range off now. Low gear, sorry. I will call it by its proper name. I'm trying to avoid the rocks. And we are essentially home stretch to get this delivered. Okay, let's just reassess. So if we head straight here, the entry point for this is there. So we need to head straight. Well, we can head left or right, doesn't matter really here. Either way we get to the same place. At least that'll be another mission complete, and that'll be a couple of things done then. We are rapidly running out of time for this morning already. Time flies. We need to make a decision about Friday. I might put it to the vote for you guys to decide. So we were scheduled to stream this yesterday and today, but because this wasn't out when it should have been yesterday, we couldn't get it downloaded before yesterday morning stream. So we did Kingdom Come Deliverance instead, continued that. We need to decide if we stream this on Friday when we're next live, because I've got the hospital tomorrow, or we continue with as planned with Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's the decision we need to make, and I may just put it to you guys on the vote, so you guys decide. This bit was muddier than I thought. Are we caught up on something behind us? Is that why we're stuck? Or is it the actual mud that's causing this? I think it might be the mud, you know. Or it could be a rock, couldn't it? Got no movement. Well, they're saying that. Crab walking is moving us ever so slightly. If that's the case, it may give us enough to keep going. The forward momentum that we need. We are moving ever so slightly. Means it may just grip in a second and be fine again. Turn low gear off and see if that makes a difference. Sometimes low gear can be a hindrance, sometimes it can really help. Diff lock and all-wheel drive on automatically. Don't quite know what we're stuck on, but we are moving forward, albeit very slowly. Okay, only moves forward via crab walking. Low gear on again, does that make any difference? Just waiting for it to grip and then we'll just spurt forward. Hence the camera. I'm not touching the camera, it's doing it itself because we're getting closer to it. I don't think it's the mud causing the issue, there must be something we're stuck on. Because the fact we can crab walk tells me that we're able to move. than not without crab walking, weirdly. Come on, find that grip. We are still moving forward as well, amazingly. There is still movement there. What is going on? I don't quite know what it is that's causing it. One is we're actually nearly at the point we need to get to. I was just hoping this would grip after a few bits of crab walking, but it doesn't want to grip it for some reason. Come on. Okay, the lift us up there, so there is this something we're stuck on, I would say. Are we still moving? That was slightly. The engine noise changed there, which means we're nearly getting grip. There is still movement forward, which is not very much. Come on, you're nearly there. Sometimes, as I say, low gear is a hindrance. I think there must be a rock or something underneath us. It's the only thing I can think causing it. Okay, I could be going forever trying to get that forward there. Let's quickly jump to our coastal base. We'll grab one of our normal vehicles, our towing vehicles, and pull it out that way. I think that's probably our best bet here. The minimum rescue will be fine, I think. Let's deploy that. Because we can tow it, we'll do that. Which way are we going? Forgot the way out of it. We've not really come from here before. But we just need to get to the vehicle. We can put it on tow, and then it will also use its own power as well. So the power of our vehicle, towing it doesn't matter so much, because you can use the power of the vehicle you're towing if you put it into tow mode. So it shouldn't matter that we're a smaller vehicle. But I think once we're out of that mud, it won't need towing anymore. I think we're either stuck on a rock that's causing the issue, or maybe the mud's just catching. It's just a bit too much in one place. It seemed fine until that one bit though. And this is a rescue vehicle after all, it's in the name, so we should be fine. You can see how bad the mud is in places though. The fact we're going to need a convoy somewhere around this area is going to be tricky. I definitely will need a road building, I think. Okay, there we are. Right, we need to turn around. I wanted rather going backwards towards it, I think. It's either that, or we go and get the tree crusher and just push it. That's the other way. We shouldn't need to, I don't think. Right, not close enough yet. There we go. So, towing on, and let's see if we can get this moving. Okay, my plan isn't going to work, I don't think. No, that's not going to move, is it? I thought that would work, especially with towing on as well. Oh, there we go, hang on. We may have done. Because with towing on, obviously, it's using its own power. It might end up pushing us, to be fair. It is pushing us. There we go. What we'll do is we'll unwinch. We need to move this out of the way just so I can jump back in the other one. So the plan did work. It did exactly what we wanted, and that was just tow it out of that one little bit that was causing the problem. Right, we can carry on. So it was actually pulling the winch towards us that made it move, so we're just stuck on something. We may have just beached ourselves a little bit, maybe, and that was the issue. But we are going to get this done before we finish today. We're just about out of time. So we'll get this mission complete at least, and then we'll have a chat. But as I say, I might put a vote on tonight, maybe, to decide what we do on Friday. If we did this on Friday, it would make it 2 streams of each game, which makes sense. That was the original plan. So that would probably make the most sense, to be fair. But there we are. The quarry is here. The scalper is also here. And that, whether this activates the quarry for free, I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out, to be fair. Mud steep. Hopefully, it means we don't need to spend the tokens to activate it, and that gives us the ability to build the road here. I think the big thing next time is going to be finding the concrete facility, as that's needed really more urgently than anything else to get the beam production up and running. So yeah, the concrete facility is probably more the thing we need to find. Plus, we can get the pipes delivered to and from, which then gives us them as well. We can't do that until we find the concrete facility. Right, that is the vehicle delivered. The mobile sand plant is there. Do we still... and he gives us 10 tokens, which is what we needed to activate the quarry. So then we can activate that quarry, and that would give us the ability to build a road here that it wants us to do. Where's the road? This road here. There is a mission for a road along there. Saying that, though, we'd have to use other vehicles to make mobile quarries to get the whole road, I think. It's not going to give us much of it. And knowing the convoy's got to come this way, we're going to need this road to there complete. And then from there, we don't know where the concrete facility is, do we? I don't think it's that way. Although there is a road going up here that may require us to explore up here, because there is something there. Interestingly, there is something up the top of that, a building potential for demolition, maybe for resources. But in terms of the concrete facility, we haven't seen it as of yet, and I don't quite know where it's going to be. We know north of here we've got explosives to pick up, so we can get access to the castle, and there's a building there to demolish. And we know we've got to send a convoy from here somewhere for the concrete facility. We just don't know where. But yeah, there is also another bit of land across here that potentially maybe a bridge needed to get across. There is a road point there. There's a road here and an old bridge. So we need to build a bridge along there by the looks of things to get us across to this side as well. So there's quite a lot to do. It is very different to what we're used to in terms of you've got to find missions yourself, and the main mission has a few stages. So we need to construct the oil rig over here, but there's 3 stages of building by the looks of things. Is it 3 stages, or is it just the fact that it shows 3 different things needed? It may be, I may be wrong, and it's 3 different things needed, but they're quite difficult to get hold of currently, hence why it's not going to be as simple to do. But thoroughly enjoying it so far. We've tried some of the new vehicles. We've demolished our first house as well, which was good to do. And hopefully we'll find more buildings we can demolish and get resources from in the future. Currently, though, we've only seen the one, and we destroyed it quite early on, to be fair. But that is us out of time. We'll see if it actually tells us how many missions in total there are, interestingly. Obviously, we didn't know when we went into the map. It doesn't tell you originally. So I'm curious to see if it will tell us now the amounts. So then we know what percentage and stuff, how far through we are. 16% done of the first map then. There are, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. So there are 15 infrastructure requests, we've done 3. There is 1 objective, and that's it. And I'm assuming that is building the oil rig. So that main mission for rebuilding the oil rig is the mission. That's it. But there are 35 side objectives. We've completed 6. So, and looking on the map, which I didn't realise till now, coming across that right-hand side is going to be really important, because there's going to be buildings there. And also north of where the oil rig's building, There looks to be another bridge potentially to get across that way, which is where explosives are to access the castle. So there's quite a few things to find and look out for and figure out, but we're getting there. It's a good start, I feel. But that is us out of time for today. As I say, I think what we'll do, I'll put a vote on this evening to whether we stream this on Friday morning or continue Kingdom Come Deliverance as well. We're not live tomorrow because I've got the hospital. But yeah, Friday, we'll do a vote and it'll end, I don't know, tomorrow night maybe. And that will decide what we're doing on Friday morning. But a massive thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us for our first look at this DLC, Reclaim DLC. Definitely very different from what we're used to, and lots to figure out. But thank you for the like, the comments, the views, and the conversation. I hope if we don't see you on Friday, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.